This is actually more than I was hoping for. Even setting aside Warzone, which is also more than I was hoping for. We're getting 5 weapons on launch. We are also getting those aftermarket parts that are actually, many of them, going to be impactful and usable and not overpowered, with one exception. That's pretty cool too. Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 379. Excuse me, my name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today I'm joined by young Tanner once again.
Yeah.
What's the weather like over there? You look all bundled up.
No, it's just because the lighting, and we're demonetized. It's just like the
oh crap!
I just put a hoodie on because it's like whiting out my face again, making it look super white. I don't know why it does that. Didn't do it last week.
Yeah, TikTok's got me thinking about what I look like these days.
Well, no, I just mean because my face is just bright white with the lighting. So I don't know. I think it's because I've been wearing the black hoodie, so it like makes the color better because the camera is shit. I don't know.
Oh, the camera color balancing thing. Yeah. Webcams are annoying. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today we have a lot to talk about. And some that we're going to be tabling for Saturday, which we'll get into. So yeah, before we get started, a lot of new info to get into, including a massive blog post on season 1, a couple of announcements. So yeah, welcome first and foremost to our new gold patrons, Randy C, Barry Bear, change it, and Travis. Welcome, boys, very much appreciated. Welcome aboard. We also got some new platinum patrons, Ben S, I don't believe that's your real last name, but I'm not going to read it anyway, just in case. And Winter Soldier 5.0 KD. Wow. Welcome, our new platinum patrons. Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, our new annual platinum patron, saving himself some money by going annually, which I'd advise you all to do. Tolar, change it. Welcome, boys, to the Patreon. Patreon.com/The Dropshot, ad-free, early access episodes, bonus episodes, and more stuff. Patreon.com/Dropshot. Figure it out. The best way to support the show. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much for joining up. And now is a great time. I mean, we've done a lot of fire bonus content relating to MW3. We're going to be doing a lot more fire bonus content relating to Warzone that is only available to our patrons without ads also. It's just such it's a crazy good deal. But before we talk a little more about that, we also got a nice little offline donation, which we don't see often. And there was no message attached to this one. It was just solid cash, and that's it, which is fine. I'll take that. And this was from W. Lou, who donated 10 United States fucking dollars. Dang it! I can't stop myself, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're demonetized for this episode. It's a GG. Man. It's an L. Yeah.
Yeah. This will be an interesting test one, though, actually, to see how it works.
I don't know if we appeal it because I cussed so soon.
We do. I thought it was just the first minute.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah. I thought when I was looking stuff up, it still said that, but maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out, whatever. Yeah. They'll just delete our channel. If we don't have a YouTube, by the way, patreon.com/Dropshot. You'll be able to find us there. Anyway, W. Lou, thank you very much for the 10 United States dollars. Brother, I don't know why we got it, but I'll take it, and we appreciate it, and we need it. So thank you very much. Now, speaking of the Patreon, to get back to that quickly, and you can always donate at thedropshot.com, by the way. We have done our final 2 bonus episodes of the 5 we do every month for the month of November. We did for our Damascus patrons, we did our behind the scenes episode where we talked about what's going on behind the scenes, basically. Nothing super crazy, just a lot more kind of an update on everything that's been going on behind the scenes in terms of the channel, the direction. We're going to be, taking the podcast in the next month or 2. Some audibles we've called, but a nice little peek behind the curtain. And as I always say, for those of you listening, if you're a content creator or you find content creation, I hate that phrase, by the way, interesting, you would like our behind the scenes episodes, because we talk about like the business side, like, what we do and why we do it, or some of the things we do and why we do it from like a business perspective. And that was definitely the thrust of this behind the scenes, but also what we're doing with our content as well. And I quite enjoyed that one. And then we also released for all of our patrons, Gold and Up, part 2, multiplayer brainstorm. We're going to be shifting gears here into Warzone after the integration happens, which we'll talk more about. And because of that, we felt like we should probably do another multiplayer episode, because it's going to be at least like a month probably before we kind of really talk about multiplayer again, at least on the bonus episode front on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So our first multiplayer brainstorm for MW3 we did was very early on in the month, and we hadn't experienced a lot of the game at that time. But the last one we just did, part 2, that just went live, we've already used all the guns. We have all the attachments unlocked. We've used all the perks. We've used like all the equipment and stuff, field upgrades. So we did another brainstorm where we talked about our first one and what things we learned that we had talked about, and then other new things we had learned. And we talked about those as well. And again, I found that to be very productive. And like often happens, it even changed how I played the game today, in fact. Like my shotgun class this morning when I was doing camos for it, I'm on priceless camos, by the way, and I didn't touch the launcher. Stay mad. Stay mad. Can I get a claymore, please? Lobby chat. Chat face. Oh, I need claymores. Please drop prox mines. I'll pay you. You disgust me. You people doing that disgust me. And I'll have Interstellar.
They did their launcher faster than you doing that LMG, by the way.
That's possible, but I had more fun and I didn't have to beg for a camo. Anyways, when I was playing with that shotgun this morning, my class looked different because we did that brainstorm. If we hadn't done the brainstorm, I would have had a subpar shotgun class this morning. So even we learned things, and, obviously we talked about them. So yeah, that was very productive. That's available to all of our patrons. Did you enjoy doing those 2 episodes?
Yeah, they were too good. I would say we gave them too much.
It's really, yeah. We
should charge more. One of them was stims. We talked a lot about stims. Some of the attachments that we had talked about on the prior episode, or like perks, not attachments, that we wanted to try. They're like, oh, this could be good in theory. We tried all of those. Guess what? Most of them aren't good in theory or at all. So yeah, we talked a lot about that, and some attachment stuff too. Talked about what attachments we've been running on guns, what's necessary. So yeah, I thought that was solid, man.
Yeah. It actually was.
Yeah, and I don't know what we'll be doing for our next multiplayer episode, honestly, may not be until we do like a multiplayer ranked app or something. I guess it depends how bad Warzone is or good.
We'll see. I would imagine sometime in January we do another bonus episode on multiplayer, because that'll be, because we're getting season 1 early December. So how long is a season? Usually 6 weeks?
60, or is it about 60 days usually?
Oh, okay. Oh, then
it's
maybe.
Been anywhere from like 45 to 60 days. I think it's usually 60.
Okay. Because I would expect we get ranked on the launch of season 2. So that's probably when we would by then we will
Warzone ranked or
definitely
multiplayer ranked?
Multiplayer ranked. Excuse me. Yeah.
No, that's coming in season 1. That was on the roadmap.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, we'll probably by January we'll probably be doing some bonus eps on that too.
Yeah.
So that'll be multiplayer focused, obviously. But yeah, anyway, those are live. Patreon.com/Dropshot. Check those out if you are interested. And other than that, I don't think we have any announcements. So if you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
It's playing, huh?
We are sending it. We got a lot to get into, man. We got a lot to get into, so we need to get through these announcements. All right, today, boys and girls, episode number 379. So a lot to get into, and we are going to start with some patch notes, changes already in effect, before getting into the blog post. And then after that, we have quite a bit more info to dump on you from our friend, the real
loads on them.
I guess we're already demonetized. The real
That's not demonetizing.
I don't know, man. These algorithms
That's
are
not
smart.
demonetizing.
It's possible. Whatever.
If they want the load dropped on them, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's fair, and Google would agree. So
It's consensual loads, yeah.
We will consensually, yeah. Content warning. The real QA testers at Activision, or QA tester, I should say, TheXclusiveAce. We have a lot of his content to kind of sum up for you guys as well. Like Tanner was alluding to in the announcements on perks, which ones work, which ones don't work, and which ones barely work. And then also on, flinch, some other things, ammo types, and then the TrueGameData video that's been very popular in KBAM circles. We're going to talk about all of that later. But yeah, first we'll get the kind of official stuff out of the way. Number one, before we do that, though, is this is a public service announcement. If you are, well, I'll just say this. The final weekly challenge for MW 3 is now live. Week 4 weekly challenge or whatever. And if you do 5 of those 12 challenges, because you can do multiplayer or zombies challenges, and they're easy, you will unlock the first new gun added to MW 3, which is an LMG called the TAC Eradicator. That is available now in MW 3 if you do week 4 weekly challenge. So if you're in the lobby, you go to the top right, you press the 6 boxes, and then you press challenges, and then you press weekly. And then you don't press you're not like looking at week 4 because it's week 4, right? That's what you'd think. You'd be wrong though. You're going to be on week 1 tab. So you're going to have to also then click the week 4 tab. Then you'll see the week 4 challenges. Do 5 of those. You'll unlock the gun. Sick UI, by the way. But anyways, the new LMG is live. Tanner texted me about this and I was very excited because I'm going for interstellar camo, and as we've been talking about with respect to the camo grind, if you want to skip the launcher, we were saying wait for season 1 when DLC guns get added, but we forgot that there was going to be this LMG added before season 1. So I did the weekly challenges, I leveled the LMG, and I've gotten it up to forged right now. So I'm working on priceless camos now, even though I didn't do the launcher. So if that's one of you guys, just a PSA, you can do that now. You don't have to wait till season 1. Or if you just want to use the gun, by the way, because it is quite good. Basically, it is like the SVA assault rifle in that, or like the AN94 from MW19, in that when it's full auto, it's an LMG, but it's like more mobile than a normal LMG. I don't know if it's technically a bullpup, but it's got like the Bruin kind of like mobility feeling. It's like a slow AR. It's not like a like a slower LMG, you know what I mean? And
Got like a drum mag. It's like an AR drum mag.
it's kind of like the AUG LMG, what's it called in MW2? HCR. I would say it feels like that in terms of mobility and ADS and all that. And it's full auto, and it's like the SVA where when you start shooting, your first 7 bullets have a way higher fire rate than the next X bullets. So it starts fast and then slows down a lot. So if you hit your first shots, it's really good. But if you miss your first shots, it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's which I actually quite like. That's like a skill gap type of gun where it's like, it's very important that the first couple shots you hit are on target right away to take advantage of that TTK. And it's really fun to use. I got it max level. I've used it full attachments. It's not like the best gun in the game, but it definitely has a place, and it's like super viable in core. It's really fun. I really like it. And it feels different because of that variable fire rate type beat. You haven't used this, right? Have you unlocked it?
No.
Interesting.
No.
Do you plan to get it interstellar, or are you just going to get your double kills instead with your launcher?
Oh, I'm for sure just doing the double kills. Yeah. Double kills in hardcore. Yep. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to level the LMG all the way up, do all the base attachments. That'll take way longer. I'll probably do it eventually, like level the gun up, but I probably won't even. I mean, you have to use like such specific guns and specific attachments for the challenges to unlock it, and I'm not using any of those guns right now, so I'm just going to ignore it.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah, and I would also add, by the way, for those of you, well, I'll just say this. There are some rumblings that people think this gun is going to be the Warzone meta once the integration happens. There's absolutely, let me be clear, no shot that this is going to be the meta long-range gun in Warzone once the integration happens. There is no shot, because you need to shoot a lot in Warzone. So after those first 7 bullets, even if you do hit them all, depending on the range you're at, which you won't, by the way, in Warzone, like you're going to be shooting people far away, it's not going to be good in Warzone. Like, no chance. So don't feel like you need to level it right away if you're not doing camos or whatever. For Warzone, I don't think it's going to be relevant. But for multiplayer, it's really good, and I would recommend it. So anyway, just one little PSA that's live. Now, let's get into a couple of patch notes. Nothing much here. There was a patch today that we will talk about right now, and that was really the only one this week. The Gaia skin will be temporarily disabled. Apparently, they didn't actually disable it, according to Tanner, but they said they did today. So I don't know.
They did say they've been temporarily disabled. They haven't been. Yeah, I was just playing. I was playing the game 10 minutes ago against Gaia skin, so they lied. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're watching live, I guess it's still in. If you're listening on an app or something, it's probably gone. Maybe not, though. I don't know. But they're just disabling it until they make it brighter, and then they're going to bring it back. Don't bring it back. No one's going to care if you make it bad visibility. No one's going to want to use it. But anyway, if and when they do that, that will be good. So that's cool. And then for multiplayer, a couple of little kind of bug fixes here. I briefly read over these. Nothing was super interesting.
Bug fixes,
but there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Addressed an exploit that allowed players to appear in the prone animation while sprinting. I did see some funny TikToks of that. So if that's gone, that's good. And this is what I wanted to call attention to. Improved progression tracking for several kill-based challenges. Okay, if that means camo challenges, then you guys better do those bugged camo challenges while you can. Like, you could get double kill camos in private lobbies. They might have fixed that. That might be what this means. I don't know. Or the 3 kills in 1 magazine. That might actually be working as intended, which would make it way harder now. I don't know. There are other examples. I'm not going to list them all, but
yeah, I'm wondering if they just mean challenges.
or kill streaks, you should do them now while they're still bugged, if they're still bugged.
Yeah.
And they could mean like calling card challenges, like the ice.
That's what I'm thinking.
Cold ones too. That's possible as well. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like they would have worded it differently if it was the camo challenges, like fixed tracking issues on kill-based camo challenges.
Yeah, I had that thought too. It's possible. It's not clear, but anyway, There you go. And then other than that, that was pretty much, oh, this is the last thing. EOD is finally fixed, which is huge. So EOD was bugged where if you had EOD equipped and you got frag grenaded, you wouldn't mitigate any of the damage. You'd still die to frags. It made EOD way worse. So now they've said here, incoming explosive damage is now properly clamped at 80% of the player's max health. I think I can confirm this is true because I got fragged with EOD today and I did not die, and it was pretty close to me. So I think this actually is working, which is really good. So it took them too long, but it's fixed. So yeah. Fairly small patch here. They're probably putting most of their work toward this next blog post, which is...
I expected a lot more. Like even like the war, people can still get out of bounds on war under the map. They haven't,
and they still haven't said anything about it. True.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
TRUUU.
The COD cycle is continuing.
Yep. So anyway, now we're getting into season 1, December 6th. Anyway, here's the roadmap. And there are a lot of things on it. And as always, well, I can't zoom in on it. Just let me open it in a new tab, man. Come on. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. Anyway, whatever. So they've given us a season 1 blog post, and there is a lot of info in here. And if you're on Twitter, you've probably seen a lot of this already. So let's dive into it. Season 1 arrives in MW3. Big words, lots of big words. Not reading any of them. Here is the roadmap once again. Should we go over the image of the roadmap? What do you think?
Yeah, did you already explain that we're not covering Warzone? Did you say that just now?
I did not say that just now, no. But yeah, we are going to go through this blog post, but we're going to table the Warzone discussion until Saturday, our next episode 380, because we were planning on talking about Warzone anyway, and we're just going to fold it into that because there's a lot of new info here. And we want to give, and we have like a ton of those like TheXclusiveAce and TrueGameData videos to talk about as well. So to give everything its due diligence, we're going to split this up. So we're going to talk about everything except Warzone today. And then the Warzone stuff we're going to talk about on Saturday. And then we're going to get even deeper than we otherwise would. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. So with that said, let's continue on. MW3 multiplayer overview. So we're getting 4 new maps, 3 new 6s maps, and 1 new 2v2 map. And then festive reskins of other maps during the season. So that's interesting. By the way, we're also going to be skipping things in this blog post that they've already alluded to. So we're just going to kind of look for the new info here. Gunfights coming back, as we know. New game modes. Test your luck in all or nothing. Wield the one-shot ray gun against enemies. In the limited time Vortex arriving in season, and more. So there's going to be a game mode called Vortex. That'll be weird, with ray guns in it. I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll learn more. And then the Codmas festive events and ranked play. So yeah, we're getting festive things, snow, Santa Claus, hopefully not Krampus. And,
no, not Krampus.
And we will be getting ranked play in multiplayer this season. So there you go. 4 new maps, 6s and 2v2. So here are more screenshots of the map called Meat, which we have already seen, but now we're seeing additional screenshots of it. And also, I really like this. They included like the TAC map, little overhead view, which is really cool. Yeah. And it looks small. It looks like a pretty small map to me. Because that building is this here, and that building is like not big, and it takes up a lot of the map. So this is going to be like a tight little sixes map. So that looks good. Greece, once again.
Make use of the new tack stance ability. They're already telling us to use tack stance. Interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
We won't be doing that, Sledgehammer.
Yeah, I'll be getting Interstellar and then unbinding tack stance for sure, so... next is Greece. We've again already seen one screenshot of this, but now we have more.
Holy,
looks pretty.
Lot of little buildings.
Yeah, a lot of little buildings and water. This map will be bad.
The water is on both sides. So you could flank down an entire lane underwater, actually. Yeah. Okay. I wonder how many people actually use that.
I don't know, but even if there wasn't water, this map looks pretty bad. There are too many buildings, right?
There's a lot going on. It's going to be great for like shotguns or something. Shotguns and SMGs.
That's true. This is
they
a
even
map
say right
that
here,
would
dive into the canal or the sea when you need to reposition. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, this might be good for, I guess, those shotguns, but this is a map where covert sneakers are really gonna piss you off. They're really gonna piss you off because the lines of sight are all 1 meter because there are so many buildings, and also you can't hear people running up to you because of covert sneakers. So this map is going to be bad, really bad. Actually, it's pretty, but that's it. It's not a good map. I can almost. I'm 90% sure this map will not be good, but we'll see, I guess.
Somebody should send us to Greece together on a trip. Somebody should pay for us to go to Greece. Would you go if it's fully paid?
I would go to Greece, yeah.
We got any Oilers?
Any Oilers in the chat?
Yeah, we need some Oilers here.
I would love some Oilers, yeah. So let's move on. Rio, we're getting mid-season. So yeah, Greece we're getting at launch as well as Meat. And then Rio's another sixes map we're getting mid-season sometime. This map looks better. We've already seen one screenshot of it. Now we're seeing a couple more. Lots of colors. Same color scheme as like Mercado, basically.
Exactly what I was thinking, yep.
Yeah, which is fine.
Spacing is tight, they say.
The spacing is tight, yeah. This has like one big central building. So I think this will play a lot better than Greece will. I really like that they're including these TAC maps, actually. Like you look at Greece and it's like a million little buildings. Awful. But this map, some buildings, but mainly one big central building with rooms. So it has the potential to play well, but it depends obviously on the details. But yeah, that'll be coming mid-season. And then, yeah, training facility, the 2v2 gunfight map. I don't have much to say here. I swear to God, they added more lights from the last screenshot to this one, dude. Do you remember it having this many lights in the big screenshot?
I think so.
This isn't, no, this is an Activision psyop. There were fewer lights. Well, no, they retroactively changed the last blog post if it is in fact the same screenshot. Check the VOD. You're going to have to go to our podcast and look at it. Yeah, you're going to have to check the VOD.
Here's images from another website. Nope, same image.
It's not.
Yeah, could just be skill issue. Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless, I don't really care. I'll never play gunfight.
The thing we said last time was it's too vertical because they now in this top image they show like that staircase going up there and then that little hole you could peek through. Basically, it looks like there's too much cover and a lot of like little vertical areas for a gunfight. But maybe some of these aren't even playable. Maybe you can't get up in a lot of those. I don't know. But yeah, it's gunfight. So.
If I was ever going to play gunfight, it needed to have been in at launch.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. So since it wasn't, super don't care. And this will be fun for customs. I'm looking forward to gunfight for customs, but that's pretty much it. So anyway.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Damascus Hangout customs, by the way, patreon.com/Dropshot. So there's another paragraph. Gunfight returns. Other modes confirmed. So lots of words, big words. They explain how gunfight works, which is fair. And there will be 5 gunfight maps at launch. It's going to be this training facility one, and then 4 others. Wow, really? 5 at launch? Oh,
well, they're all MW2 gunfight
4 of
maps,
them are carry forward ones, which is fine.
And one's shipment, so that doesn't count at all.
Yeah, they are having shipment from MW2 be a gunfight map is like quintuple dipping. Like this shipment is the most washed up, used, abused, run through map in this game. I just don't like shipment for gunfight. I think it's a really bad gunfight map compared to all the others. Yeah, true. It's not a good gunfight.
Shipment's
map.
like if you want a 1v1 or something, okay, but it just doesn't. I don't think it works well for one life 2v2 gunfight at all.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You need, like the longer, narrower maps flows better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you need to kind of be like on a track. Yeah, I agree. It's too square. It's too square to be a good gunfight map. But anyway, whatever. So that's that. All or Nothing is coming at launch of season 1 as well.
This was that mode we tried in customs in MW2 and it never worked. Remember, you start with throwing knives and no ammo, and then you get a kill and you're supposed to pick up ammo, and it just never worked.
Yeah.
No, it didn't drop the ammo pack, so you can never get ammo. Because get 1 elim and then you get scavenger, allowing you to retrieve ammo for your weapon when you get kills or something, but it never worked.
Yeah, but I don't think the kills counted as points either.
Oh,
I think that was also not working. So like even if we wanted to do like throwing knife only, it wouldn't have worked. That's what I remember. But yeah, it was buggy for sure. But yeah, you start with a throwing knife and no ammo. If you get a knife kill, you get scav, injure perk, and then you can pick up ammo and then you can shoot your probably pistol. It's fun for hangouts. Yeah, I'll never play it publicly, obviously. And then more at mid-season. Expect additional modes, including fan favorite and holiday themed variants. Okay, so here's Vortex. This is the LTM with the ray gun, as you can see in this picture. This guy, Jason, with the hockey mask on, has a ray gun also, and he's on a very blue-looking map. This is going to be an LTM coming mid-season, and that's what I said. This is a reactor. So in this free-for-all mode, one player spawns in with the ray gun. Whoever kills the ray gun guy becomes the new owner of the ray gun. Vortex takes place on 3 remixed multiplayer maps: Satan's Quarry, Spore Yard, and Tetanus. Those are remixed? What does that mean?
Well, so Spore Yard is Scrapyard, Satan's Quarry is Quarry, and what would Tetanus be? Is it just like Terminal? I don't know.
What? Okay, yeah. What would Tetanus be?
This image here is Scrapyard. I know that. And then Quarry, obviously. But yeah, Tetanus, I don't know. The only map that starts with a T is... Oh, Rust. Yes.
Maybe.
Rust.
Of
that
course
makes sense.
it's
Tetanus, Rust. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Can we stop with Rust, please? I'm so tired of it. Anyway, whatever.
I miss
this
it
is
now
a cute
that,
little LTM,
that shipment's
though.
in. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll never play it, but like, for customs, it would be fun. It's a cute little LTM. But anyway, there you go. And then Codmas. There's another LTM coming mid-season. Santa's Sleigh Ground. This is a cool looking operator skin, by the way. This like zombie Santa dude.
He looks cold. He looks a little frozen, huh?
He needs to roll those sleeves down. Yeah. He looks a little, he's frostbite.
Jacked as hell, man.
Yeah, he also has frostbite. Look at his fingers.
Does he?
Those things are about to fall off, man. He's getting close.
Healthy.
Anyway, I don't know. Season's Eating. Santa Nas is here to spread horror and fear. Complete event challenges, earn rewards, and visit classic holiday themed maps, including Shipmas and Hangover.
Oh my my god. It's
just try not to get bitten.
Make other maps Christmas themed, please.
Yeah, shipment.
Oh my god.
What is Hangover gonna be? What is that?
I don't know. Just try not to get bitten, okay?
Yeah, we'll get more info, it says later, I guess, whatever. And then we're also getting infected mid-season, so that's cool.
Nice.
And then headquarters we're getting mid-season. I don't know if this was confirmed, but people wanted it. This is the mode where it's kind of like Hardpoint, except you have to capture it and then survive, basically. I don't know. People like it. It's coming mid-season. I don't know if we knew this or not, but a lot of people wanted it, so now we know it's coming mid-season.
Yes, this is kind of a classic COD mode. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't in the game on launch. I don't know if it was in on launch on MW2 either, though. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Team Gunfight, we're also getting mid-season. So it's Gunfight, except 6v6 on regular 6s maps. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, go play Search at that point, but yeah. Oh, no! Because you get the loadouts they give you, so I guess there's some merit to it.
Loadouts. Yeah. The loadouts will actually maybe be fun this year, too.
Hopefully they don't put
it's like
the laser hook laser that's so bright it shines through walls on every gun like they did in MW2. Yeah.
Well, it's just, and then they gave you builds that were very slow and chunky because every gun in MW2 multiplayer was. So it may actually be fun in this game. But watch, I guarantee you, Gunfight will have MW2 guns in it in this game. I guarantee it. Which will completely just piss me off.
Yeah, it definitely will, for sure. So, still though, again, these are fun for customs.
Yeah,
I really like that. Team Gunfight sounds cool. So, now getting into some interesting stuff. So this is relating to multiplayer. New perks. Starting with a new vest, and this will be an at launch. The Assassin Vest. And they write in parentheses, stealthy killer. I don't know why, but okay. Here is what it does. Kills don't display skulls. So like some ammo types do that right now. In some guns, I think do that by default, maybe. But also some ammo types give you this feature in MW3. So when you kill an enemy, that enemy's teammates won't see a skull there. So the idea is they won't know anyone died, so you're like a ninja or whatever. So not that big of a deal. Immune to UAV and enemy radar effects, so kind of like Ghost, except it also works while you're stationary. So it's Ghost Plus, where it's perma Ghost. You're definitely off the radar at all times, even if you're a camper. So that's really good, obviously. And then again, they say, if you have Ghost equipped and this vest, stop it. You will instead get hijacked IFF strobe benefit if you do that, which I believe is tracker. So, the more important question, which is what I had been talking about when I saw this on Twitter, was, okay, well, this vest is either going to be insane, like 10 out of 10, or actually like 1 out of 10, depending on what other perks it allows or disallows, or what other equipment it allows or disallows. That's the important question. Here's what you get. You get 1 tactical and 1 lethal, but no field upgrade. I will take that. That's not bad at all. In addition to having perma Ghost. Plus, you get gloves, boots, and 1 gear slot. So for those of you who are already running Ghost with like the engineer vest, Ghost is taking your second perk gear slot. So you're going to always be switching to this vest. Unless you really like engineer, I guess, like seeing equipment through walls. This is a really solid vest. A really, really good vest. I dare say overpowered. Not quite, but really close. But this is a good enough vest to where a lot of people are going to use it, because I don't care if I lose my field upgrade, and I don't care that much that I'm losing my second gear slot. You're not giving up much running this, and you're getting Ghost Plus, and the only way to get Ghost while stationary is with this vest. So this is really good, and it's going to be kind of annoying in multiplayer depending on how annoyed you get at not hearing or seeing people approaching you in game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of this at all. You should have to give up something more to just get a better version of Ghost.
It's a little too good, right?
Like, I mean, it's way too good. The fact you lose your field upgrade, one of the most useless things. Like we were talking about on that Patreon episode, I'm very surprised there are no vests that remove the glove slot. Yeah, nothing does that, and they're continuing.
I was kind of expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, because I swear, like, some of their marketing for this game, when they were talking about like 150 health, fast mobility, red dots on minimap, I swear one of them was Ghost only works while moving. Was that not one of their things they talked about? And then by season 1, they added a vest where Ghost always works.
I think that discourse was relating to... I think the reason that blew up is because that's how it would be in Warzone, which will be the case. We will kind of get into it. We'll get into it on Saturday. But yeah, you're right. I don't know. But the more...
not a good choice in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a little too strong. But on the upside, if someone shoots a gun and they don't have a silencer, we're not like losing the traditional minimap. So you'll still be able to see way more red dots in this game than you have in any modern COD, just because of the traditional minimap. A lot of people don't run silencers. So even if they are running this vest, unless they're also running a silencer, you'll still see their dot, like, enough to at least predict spawns, which I think is the most important thing for like respawn multiplayer. However, with that said, this vest is, I think, still too good. I'm going to be running it.
I mean, most people running this, they're also going to be running a suppressor because they're obviously scared of gunfight, so they want to stay off the minimap. So this covert sneakers and suppressor, it's one of those things, in my opinion, a combination that really ruins multiplayer.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point. Those people will be impossible to detect.
Yes, they will never show it for any reason, ever.
Correct.
I guess maybe if someone gets advanced UAV.
I don't know if it works with advanced. Yeah, I don't know what that interaction works.
Immune to UAV, but they're not going to like fully explain all the details on it. So
right.
But yeah, I mean, who runs advanced? Nobody.
And how often are you getting it? Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this vest is too strong, I would say.
Yeah,
and it will make
too strong.
Some players will become very, very toxic. But
you should lose field upgrade and then also like gloves or boots.
I agree. Yeah, you need to lose one of the perks.
You should lose boots, so you can't run covert sneakers and
full
ghost.
Yeah,
that would be a good way to balance it. Better way to balance it.
That's true. I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. But regardless, it's coming to the game. Yeah. So
yeah, unfortunate.
A little unfortunate. One thing though that we should also remember is now we have confirmation. It is confirmed. We are getting perks added to MW3 post-launch. I guess we already got confirmation of that from that Reddit AMA we talked about. But they're already starting. They're starting with a vest. So, I guess
confirmation of what in Warzone? Say that again.
Not Warzone, in multiplayer. I don't know if I said Warzone, I meant multiplayer.
Okay.
This is further confirmation, I guess I should say, that we will be getting perks added to the game for multiplayer post-launch. And this also might tell us how often we will be getting perks added to multiplayer post-launch. It looks like we're getting one on the launch of Season 1, or for Season 1 in its entirety. Because they're talking a lot about, in this blog post, things we're getting at launch and things we're getting mid-season. So for those of you, like myself, who are dying to know where Quick Fix is, the perk, well, the earliest it looks like we're getting it is Season 2, and that's a shame. That's like the biggest thing for me here.
Yeah, if we're going to get a perk every season, or say the first 3 seasons of this game or something,
too slow.
It doesn't make sense that the first one we get is the same perk we already have, just a way better version of it.
True, dude. True.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is kind of goofy, isn't it? So
goofy as hell, man.
Yeah. Goofy AF skull emoji. And by the way, Sledgehammer had alluded to making Ghost stronger in multiplayer. And what a lot of people speculated was that they would have it, because Ghost only works while you're moving, the gear slot Ghost. So as soon as you stop moving, you're back on radar. What we thought Sledgehammer meant was they will give you a little bit of a buffer period. So if you're moving and you stop for like up to 2 seconds, you'll still stay off radar. That's what we thought they meant. What they actually meant was we have an incredibly overpowered vest planned for the game. That's going to make Ghost better, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, just so you guys know. I would not, in other words, I would not expect the functionality of Ghost, the perk in the gear slot, to change.
Well, no, they said in that Reddit post
they
specifically said in that Reddit post they were making changes to how that specifically worked. They didn't mention anything about like a new version of Ghost. There was something specific said, I don't remember what it was, about the timing of when Ghost activates. It was not
interesting. Okay, maybe you're right. I hope you are right, but it's almost a moot point because I don't know how many people are going to be running the Ghost gear slot if this vest exists. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, because you're right. If someone's running Ghost gear slot, I mean...
It's only if they really want the effect of the vest.
Yeah, and a lot of people run vests that they don't care to have the effect for. Like we said, a lot of people run Engineer. The effect doesn't matter. No one cares about the effect of the Engineer vest. You're running it because you get 2 gear slots.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think this is bad for the game, but whatever.
Yeah. Warzone. So anyway, that's that.
I was telling you, like Razis, yes, like people in COD, they're just so scared of everything. Like I'm just so sick of people running Ghost and Covert Sneakers, and now it's gonna be Ghost on steroids and Covert Sneakers. Like they're just so scared of fighting anybody and getting shot and letting anybody know where they're at. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
COD is the only game in the world where people are scared of sounds.
Yeah. Covert Sneakers, I think, is the worst thing.
I hate Covert Sneakers in pubs. Yeah. I don't care what the CDL likes. That's great. There's a case for that. I hate it in pubs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. CDL needs its own things. Instead of just banning everything, like, just have different things in the CDL rule set instead. So you just remove Covert Sneakers. Or have only Covert Sneakers in the CDL thing and just take it out of pubs. Anyway, whatever. It's a conversation for another time. Next, we're getting new kill streaks as well in MW3 at launch. Okay. So we're getting the Swarm, which is a 15 kill streak. Deploys a large number of mosquito drones to provide blanket coverage over the entire area. So this is more like the BO4 kill streak, which was called... Oh my goodness, what was it called? I forget what it was called in BO4, but there was a perk kind of like that. So yeah, basically, I guess you're going to pick a little area, probably on a tablet, and then you'll deploy a bunch of autonomous mosquito drones that will shoot at people. And it's probably going to be quite good because it takes 15 kills, which I think is the max. I think that's the same as Juggernaut. So this streak will be nuts if you can get it. So that's one. And then at 13 kills, we're also getting the EMP, Electromagnetic Pulse, which disrupts enemy kill streaks and equipment. So for 13 kills, that is an insane selection. I don't know why you would pick this. For that cost, if this is going to be added to the game, it needs to be like 8 kills, not 13. There's no shot I am ever running this. Because here's the thing. Oh, but Raz, if I can call in a kill streak and I immediately destroy all the enemy's kill streaks, that would be really good when I'm getting farmed by a gunship, VTOL, and chopper gunner. Here's the problem though, right? If you're getting farmed by a gunship, VTOL, and chopper gunner, you're not going on a 13 kill streak, buddy. The only time you're going to get an EMP, a 13 kill streak, is when you're already farming the enemy team and there is no enemy kill streaks to disrupt. This is a poorly thought out streak.
It's an insane streak, yeah. And Swarm was in BO2, I think I think like the exact thing it was in that game. It was called Swarm then too.
Was it was it really good in BO2? I don't remember it.
I think it was really good. Yeah.
Okay.
But EMP wasn't. I thought MW19 or BO4 had something like EMP, or I'm just thinking
BO4 had hacking from Zero.
Yeah.
The ult. Yeah.
Which was useless for us because we always farm streaks, so why would we ever use that? That's what it was. That was useless because we were too
And
good
because people just didn't run hackable kill streaks. Like, we didn't use the drone killer, I think that's what it was called, kill streak, only because if it got hacked, it would kill you instead of just being destroyed.
Yeah.
So once everyone learned what streaks would be turned on them, they just stopped running them, and then Zero was kind of trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Swarm is fine, I guess. All kill streaks, I don't really care. It doesn't matter that much. But EMP is particularly insane. Whenever you have it, you won't need it. And whenever you need it, you won't have it. Like, literally. That's what that kill streak is. So this is a classic Call of Duty developer move where we add something to the game that no one will use and it will change no one's gameplay experience ever.
Yeah.
So, cool. Got it. And thanks. But there you go. Let's go! Ranked play launches mid-season. I was reading that. Yeah, presented by Treyarch in partnership with Sledgehammer. So that's a huge W. Treyarch's been doing a great job of being the custodian of ranked play in an otherwise miserable dog shit. We're already demonetized and trash video game MW2. And now that the game is fun, keeping Treyarch at the helm is great because now it's just only good things. So I love that. And then besides that, they write so many words, and I don't have much to say, really.
It doesn't matter. It's just ranked as play is coming back.
Ranked
it's
is
going to be the
going
same
to
top
function.
250 divisions.
Yeah, exactly. Which we're not going to talk about it because it was really well done, and there's nothing else to say. So this is a good thing, to be clear. Yeah. It's a good thing that it's going to be the same system, but it is going to be the same system. So not really much to say right now. And I'm sure we'll get a whole blog post dedicated to ranked play before it launches. So that'll be coming mid-season. By the way, take a little peek at these operator outfits, these ranked play operator skins. Those look tasty, dude.
Yeah.
Tasty. And
that's
I like
probably, well, that's going to be the same one like they had in MW2, where it's like, to get that, you needed to, hit level 50, I think? I think that's what it is.
That, I think, was yes. Yeah. Hopefully not, because that's a lot of games, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it is, because this is the same style as that one was. It's got like a snake skin looking design on it, so I'm pretty sure it is, unfortunately.
It is a similar style. Yeah, I was thinking that too. But it looks good. So yeah, we'll know more when they do a ranked dedicated blog post, but that won't be for a couple weeks, so. Zombies overview as well. There's a new story act. So this does answer my question from before the launch of MW3. How do they iterate on zombies with the act system? And I guess they'll just add an act every season, which is the right thing to do, by the way. A massive gateway has appeared in the exclusion zone. Investigate and get engaged with new endgame content. So there are also going to be rifts. And then there are so actually, let me read this. A new labyrinth-like experience challenging squads to complete a series of objectives in the given time. Find sigils to unlock the Dark Aether rifts and earn rewards on completion. And we will be getting a new wonder weapon, Warlord, and more. So wield the VR-11 wonder weapon, discover new schematics, and prepare to infiltrate the fortress of the Warlord Dokabi. Doc AB. I don't know what language they're borrowing from with that, but it's a cool looking name. So yeah, a new act for zombies and some new content, a new wonder weapon. Pretty solid. Tanner and I have not played zombies yet, but most of the things we've heard about it have been quite positive, and finishing all 3 acts took people a long time. I did not see a tweet about the zombie skin that you get for finishing the first 3 acts for weeks after launch. And you know there are some Giga nerds that were only playing zombies. So like,
yeah,
For example, in other words, you could get Interstellar, the multiplayer camo, like 3 times before you finish all 3 acts of zombies, is what it looks like to me. So getting an extra act every season, that might be enough to tide over most zombies players. So they'll always have some new content, or pretty much always. So that's good. I like that a lot for them. So, yeah.
But so the thing is, so it's not like a reset like DMZ. So they'll go into season 1 having all the other acts completed. So then they just have one more. So I guess that's kind of a downside for them, is one act may only take them 6 hours or something, 8 hours. Which realistically, if you're a zombies nerd, you're doing that the day the season launches. Well,
there were only 3 acts so far. And it's taken people a long time to finish all 3. So I imagine an extra act, if they are the same amount of content as the 3 we have now, would be longer than that.
I'm trying to see. JGod tweeted out when he finished all the acts. I think he said how many hours it took him. Trying to find it.
Yeah, while you look for that, I'll also add
40 hours.
How many?
It took him 40 hours to finish all the acts. He said it can probably done in under 30, and probably even faster once the act 2-3 missions auto select the next one up.
Okay.
So he's bugged with the missions, yeah. And then so he was also doing camos as he did it. So that's probably also why he's saying under 30 hours. Yeah. It's good for, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because it's never going to please like the hardcore zombie nerds who want round-based, but it's a lot of hours for a casual zombies player.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is sufficient for, if you enjoy zombies right now, I think you'll enjoy zombies for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Basically. Because I think a new act every season is about enough content. Let's call acts 1 through 3 30 hours. That's like 10 hours each. 30 hours he said was like fast. And JGod's like kind of a power gamer. So maybe let's give it 40 hours. That's what?
Yeah.
13 hours per act. So each new season you get 13 more hours of content. That's pretty good if you enjoy zombies right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, and I ostensibly, Act 4 is going to be more difficult than Act 3 since it's building. So maybe it'll take longer. Maybe like Act 1 only takes, 6 hours, but Act 2 took 13, and then Act 3 took 20. And that's how he got to 40. That's possible as well. And in that case, Act 4 would take even more hours. So yeah, I think Dan and I haven't played enough zombies to really give you guys a good sense for this, but I think for those of you who have been playing zombies and enjoy it, this appears to me like you're in for a good year because it's going to be a lot of content. So anyway, a couple more details. Zombies, a new story act begins on launch. So they write a lot of words that I'm not going to read. It's just kind of going into the lore. And they're saying like there's new schematics, challenges, rewards, story missions, etc. That's all kind of what you'd expect. And then the rifts will be in at launch as well. If you enter a rift, you have players in the squad have 30 minutes to complete a series of increasingly chaotic objectives to earn exceptional rewards. So that's interesting as well. It sounds like if you do that, you can earn an infinite amount of like Aether, but it all depends on how effective you are. So if you like are really good, you'll get a ton of rewards in those 30 minutes. And if you're not, you won't. So
is this the thing the dev was talking about where you can kind of extend your session for like hardcore players? I think maybe this is it.
That's possible.
Because say you start this with 10 minutes left in the zombies match. Right. That means you should still have 30 minutes to do this. So this must be what they were talking about, where it's like you can extend it by doing a certain mission, I think is what he called it.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been keeping up that much on zombies, but I don't think that's in the game right now. And they talked about that, I think, before
these are
the
not
game
in the
even
game
launched.
Right now.
No. Yeah, no. Okay. Oh yeah, because the rift's not in the game. Yeah. But they talked about this before the game launched even, so this must be it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense if it worked any other way. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you could play for like 50 minutes and then hop into a rift, and then your experience is extended. So that's cool. So yeah, there you go. And then here's the new wonder weapon. Here's a picture of it. It's shooting lightning. Turn enemies into allies with the VR11. Shoot zombies and make them human. Make humans and to shoot humans. See, none of you are making humans, nerds. Or blast humans to mutate them into friendly zombies. So that is interesting. Yeah, I'm curious exactly how that's going to work. We kind of already talked about that. So, new classified schematics. So we get a little picture here. Oh, dude, this is dope. Schematic Aether Blade. That thing looks sick. Is that like a skin for a knife? Or is this like a pack-a-punched knife? I don't know what this is. I wonder what that is.
It's a special throwing knife with infinite ammo and a boomerang-like combat style.
Dude,
after striking an enemy,
dope.
The Aether Blade locates the next nearest enemy and hit before returning to its operator. So you throw it at somebody, at a zombie, it hits that zombie, automatically hits another one, and then comes back to you.
And it's like a lethal. That's pretty cool. That's a cute little item. I'd have fun with that.
Yeah. I'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then there's like a golden armor plate schematic, a dog bone schematic. I wonder if that summons friendly hellhounds. That'd be interesting.
The dog bone?
Yeah, the dog bone. The wonder weapon, the warlord schematic. I don't know what that is. A mask, maybe? I don't know. And then Rift Run, which is the bear that you see when you ruin the mystery box and make it move. Yeah, interesting. So they go into details on all of this. And it actually tells you, consume the dog bone to summon the strongest friendly hellhound companion. It's a pet and it'll attack people until it dies. That's cool. This will be in at launch. The golden armor plate, consuming that replaces the carrier with plates that automatically repair over time. That's busted OP. In addition to providing the user additional damage resistances. And then the Aether Blade, as Tanner explained. And then those will be in at launch, classified schematics. And then the Warlord Dokebi mid-season schematic, I guess, is... I don't know if it's a schematic or not. It's unclear to me.
It's a Warlord. I think it's someone you fight, isn't it?
That's what it seems like. Yeah, they don't say that it's a schematic. So I don't know why they put it in this image, but whatever. Yeah, they just go into the lore of the Warlord. So that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, Zombies looks good, man. I want to try it at some point. It's just I'm more excited for Warzone right now. Like on launch of the game, I really wanted to go for Interstellar, and that has taken my time rather than Zombies. And then by the time I get Interstellar, Warzone's going to be here. That's going to attract me more than Zombies will. So eventually we will play Zombies, but I wish I could kind of get into it at the same time, which I just can't. It's not how time works.
It's the same thing we said and did with DMZ.
Exactly.
We want to play it, but...
Exactly. I wish they had done a staggered launch like you had recommended for MW2.
I wish Warzone would just launch like in January next year so we have more time, especially if they're going to release Zombies. More time to play multiplayer, get the mastery camo, play Zombies. But, I get why they don't do it that way. But yeah, there's a lot. They give you a lot to do at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah, good and bad, I guess. So anyway. The next section here is a Warzone overview that we're going to skip. And I know some of you might be upset about that, but we're not really skipping it. We are simply postponing it until Saturday. So next episode, we will come back to this blog post and get out our fine-toothed combs and go through this particular section.
Yeah, because there's too much to talk about.
A lot to talk about here. And we want to be fresh and approach this early, clear-headed, and be able to give it all the time it deserves. Because our primary focus for a lot of the epochs of this podcast have been on Warzone. That will continue. And so we want to really get into all the details, explain everything, and also talk about, do some theory crafting as well on Saturday. Does this sound good? Does this sound bad? Etc. So yeah,
because that's what the original plan was. We were going to talk about Warzone on Saturday anyways, because I was saying there'll for sure be info out by then. If not, we'll talk about guns and what we think will be meta and talk about the map a little bit. So that's why we're just going to do it all Saturday.
Exactly. This was the plan since Monday. So yeah, we will skip this for now, but we will revisit this Saturday. If you want to hear all about that, that'll be on episode 380. So yeah. But I mean, spoiler alert, it looks good. And there is a lot changing with Warzone. A lot more than we knew was going to change prior to this blog post also.
Yeah.
Like, we thought we were going to get new perks. We thought we were going to get a new map. We thought we were going to get new movement. We thought we were going to get new guns. That's all true. But there are also a lot of things we didn't think about that are going to be new additions to Warzone that we will also be getting. And from everything I've seen, these are all really good changes. So there's a lot to talk about that I am super excited for. And the spoiler alert is, it looks good, dude.
Yeah.
So we'll get into details
promising
on that on Saturday, but we are very excited. So yeah, skipping all that. Let's see. God, so much Warzone info to scroll past, dude. My finger's getting tired, actually. Not actually.
Go to new event, Merry Codmas. That's where we'll
I could do that.
Stop showing them the images, man. You're giving away the Saturday episode.
I'm leaking? Yeah, okay. So
he's leaking?
Oh, dude. Okay, here's one spoiler. Krampus is back. Just kidding. Oh,
That's so
thank goodness.
I love that they say that. It literally says Krampus is back. Just kidding.
Shout out to Sledgehammer for that little joke, for that little dig at Infinity Ward, yeah? Or whoever it was.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It was their game at the time. It was their multiplayer game, but I guess Sledgehammer didn't really. No, it was Raven probably. Actually, Raven did Krampus.
It was probably Theodore himself.
Yeah.
Theodore Timothy Timmons, yeah. So, anyways. So now this next section here of the blog is general overview. MW3 Zombies Warzone. I don't know what this means, but okay. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. We're getting new weapons and aftermarket parts. By the way, now that we played the game, now I know what an aftermarket part is. Because we were like confused about what that was. And basically it's what we thought it was, which is just like another attachment, but it's like kind of special. That is basically what it is. Aftermarket parts are attachments that change how the gun performs. So, you could put on the Polemyot 762, you can equip the Bullpup Conversion Kit aftermarket part. It takes one attachment slot, and it changes the sprint to fire, ADS speed, fire rate, and movement speed of the gun. Because it changes also, I think, the caliber of the round. So it changes fundamentally how the gun feels. But you have to eat an attachment slot to do it. So unless it's making it a lot better, usually not really worth it. But anyway, those are what aftermarket parts are. Conversion kits are a subset of aftermarket parts, in other words. Not all aftermarket parts are conversion kits, though. So for example, the Core 45 pistol, there's an aftermarket part that gives you like a trigger where it's like a dual fire semi-auto trigger. I don't know what it's called in real life. Seems wildly impractical in real life, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want that? I don't know. Anyway, just like make it burst fire at that point. But anyways, whatever. So yeah, that's what aftermarket parts are. And we're getting new ones and new weapons in season 1. So 5 free new weapons and 9 more aftermarket parts. By the way, some aftermarket parts are also common across all guns. The only ones we have now are optics. There are 2 aftermarket part optics that are like holographic sight with ADS lasers comboed into one attachment. So that like kind of saves you an attachment if you're into that sort of thing. So we might be getting some more common aftermarket parts, which I would like to see more than unique to gun versus gun. ones. Yeah, that would be cool. So anyway, we're getting a lot. New operators don't care. Get the premium experience with Black Cell. That's what I say to that. I wish I had a real fart so I could fart on this.
You should fart, man.
I wish
this
I could.
was. I mean, we knew Black Cell was coming. That was part of the. That was the Vault Edition this year. Was the Black Cell bundle? You get it. For
I know
free
we knew, man.
Cringe.
Cringe.
You didn't buy it, right?
No.
I won't be buying Black Cell ever again. Ever, in fact, not ever again. I never did buy it.
I've never bought it once and never will. Yeah, let me buy the battle pass with COD points like you used to let us do.
Yeah.
Cringe. But anyway, yeah, whatever. Season 1 battle pass, yeah. New store bundles, and yeah, just a bunch of random stuff. Additional comms regarding the future of DMZ. I don't know if we're covering this today, but spoiler alert, DMZ is never being touched again. That was like the literal blog post. They said,
yeah,
we're not adding new content ever again. We're not resetting it ever again, but you can still play it if you want, I guess. So DMZ is done. F's in the chat, I guess. L ratio. Doesn't even carry forward. It's just trash. So yeah, rip DMZ.
Yeah.
And then a CDL announcement. Rep your love for competition with the CDL launch pack and earn rewards for watching the pros compete starting December 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an okay for me. So anyway, 5 new weapons. Here we go. XRK Stalker. Sniper rifle we're getting at launch.
Here we go. A bolty sniper. This is what I'm looking. This is what the game needs. A bolty sniper that's not super slow, and this looks like it.
We were just saying this in our last bonus episode available at patreon.com/Dropshot for all of our patrons. This game needed an SPR equivalent. Yes. And it looks like this is in fact that. Stalk your prey and lay them out with this tactical sniper chambered in 50 cal. Okay. For one-hit kills, look no further. The XRK Stalker Sniper deals massive damage and is highly customizable. So you can do things to it, yeah. Enhance the velocity and stability, or improve its handling capabilities to become a quick scoping menace. So
this is the exact sniper we wanted.
Yes.
It even has a box mag like an SPR. Yeah. This is what we want.
This will be like an SPR or maybe like an AX50. I think it's going to handle like one of those two.
It won't be as well. Yeah, I wouldn't think it's going to be like as fast as an SPR because it is 50 cal like it says. But the fact they say a quick scoping menace does make you think it's going to be better mobility than like the Cat, of course. Maybe not as fast as the longbow, but yeah, I think this will be really good.
The closest comparison I can think of that this sounds like to me is the MW19 AX50. That's what it feels like to me. It's like the second slowest sniper in the game, but you can still build out an AX50 to be pretty quick ADS. But the main thing is,
yeah, true.
You can get one hit kills. So yeah, because what was the big sniper in MW19 like on launch? The HDR, right? Yeah. So
that one you could not build quickly. Well, you could actually with a short barrel.
So yeah, sorta, yeah. But this is, I think, going to be the AX50 equivalent. So, in that game, we are just lacking that weapon in MW3. So that'll be cool. So yeah. Next is, and I hope they do it justice, man. And I know I always say, don't get excited about guns. It doesn't matter. They're literally just names. It's an AR that fires full auto.
Guess what bro's excited about? Yeah.
For right now, and only right now, to be clear, I take it all back, and I will be banning people that clip me saying otherwise. We're getting the Ram 7, baby. Woo! Woo! Fantastic. The Ram 7 at launch is coming to Modern Warfare 3, the best and most fun gun in modern Call of Duty history, in fact. This is the most fun and best and coolest gun of any COD game ever, any weapon. Well, it's true. Sorry. It's my favorite gun from any game past MW19 and including MW19, obviously. The Ram 7. It's coming back. It was also a DLC gun in that game, by the way. Trivia. I can give you a lot of Ram 7 trivia. It's a bullpup assault rifle. Exceptionally compact. Yeah, so they write words. When you need power and mobility, the Ram 7 is a sure bet. The weapon deals solid damage at close and medium range, and in controlled bursts can compete from afar. Its lightweight frame results in a quick reload and fast handling, so you can stay on the offensive. That tells me nothing, really. It's a 5.56 AR. It's bullpup, so you can expect it to handle a little more quickly. The quirk about it that I really liked in MW 19, aside from like high fire rate and solid damage ranges and multipliers, is that it had a very unusual recoil pattern that was very easily controlled on KBAM in a way that wasn't as easy to control on controller. So that's why it wasn't super popular, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if I guess I'm saying I wonder how similar this gun will be to the original Ram 7 in the new game with the new health. There's a lot of variables. I don't know, but hopefully it's as competitive as the old one was too at its time, you know?
Yeah. And they do describe how it was in Warzone 1. It's best at close to medium range, but it's controllable at far range and bursts. But yeah, I did have that weird up and to the left recoil pattern that most guns do not have. It's one of the few guns that recoils. Well, it kind of went like it went up and then it went pretty left and then it went up again, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was more left than up.
And more than other guns have. It was a very noticeable up and to the left.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm excited, but yeah. Like I always say, though, if I'm being serious, it's a full auto AR. So if it has that crazy recoil again, it'll be interesting, but who knows? So anyway, we're getting that at launch. And the next is a launcher that we're getting at launch. Why are we adding launchers? I'm not reading it, so if you want to, you can, but
no, I don't want to. I will never unlock this.
Oh, you know what?
Actually, no, we will. This is weird. This is very weird.
It's an MW3 launcher that can lock on to killstreaks, which that game actually kind of needs. So I'll take it. But yeah,
it can shoot down specific killstreaks and take out drones with this lock-on capability.
Oh, hold on. With unlimited recharging ammo and the ability to disable and delay enemy equipment, this weapon serves a very real shock to the system. The damage to operators is minimal. So at least it's not going to make multiplayer worse. It's not like an RPG where you're going to be dying to like explosions. It won't really damage people. This is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't really care, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of goofy. And then mid-season, we're getting the HRM9 SMG. This is going to be an armory unlock in season, by the way. So that's how they're going to do. You know what, dude? So before, if they were adding an SMG mid-season and it wasn't in the battle pass, the way to unlock it would be get one kill with an SMG in a match 500 times. So you'd have to like play 500 matches and only you need one kill. And then that was like the weapon unlock challenge, which was actually pretty cringe. But now it's the armory unlock. So if they make it cost 5 armory unlock tokens, like they did for many weapons and perks on launch, I'm actually not too mad about that. And you could unlock these really fast. Faster than most of the weapon challenge unlocks we had from previous games, I think. Unless they make them cost like 10, but none of the guns at launch costed that much, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
because like doing dailies is so easy.
This is what I figured they would do.
It didn't occur to me, but yeah, it does make sense if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, I mean, if it was either way, it would be pretty easy to unlock. So anyway, whatever. HRM9 SMG. So it's coming mid-season. A light yet stable 9mm sub for close quarters combat. High fire rate, excellent handling and mobility. Perfect for aggressive run and gun play styles. Yeah. Okay. What does this gun look like to you?
An SMG with a pistol magazine or something. I don't know.
This is a scav gun.
Huh?
A scav gun. It's got the mag is too small. It's got the huge rail, but nothing on it. Doesn't look good. Looks bad.
It's not a great looking. It's not a great looking gun. Yeah.
It just doesn't look good. I don't know. Yeah. And yeah, what is this, like a 15 round mag? I don't know what's going on there.
No, I mean, it's probably
like 20.
It's probably a 30. It's 9mm. It's probably a 30. Like 25 maybe. Or 30.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's 30. I think it's 25 at the most. Because they
double. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, unless they are like, double stacked in there, like a double stuffed Oreo. Yeah, double stuffed mag. That's possible.
Stuff me. Double stuff me. Yeah.
I have no predictions.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly. It doesn't look good. And the description is the description of any SMG. So I have no predictions on this. I don't know. It might be good. It might not.
The screenshot's taken on Greece, which looks beautiful, by the way. The most perfect lighting.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous little map. RTX on for sure on this screenshot.
RTX
yeah. So anyway, whatever. I don't care. We'll see. I mean, I might care, but yeah. And then we're getting an LMG mid-season as well. So we're not getting an AR? Oh, no, we're getting the RAM. That's right. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of guns, by the way, for one season, isn't it?
Yeah,
and no melee weapons,
and
which is
we are actually getting guns. Yeah, we're actually getting guns, which is nice.
Yeah. So the last new gun we're getting, and this is also mid-season, is a new LMG called the TAC Evolver. Evolver is how I think this would be pronounced.
Evolver. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Because if you said like werewolf, that's WERE, and it said where. I'm going to go with Evolver. An advanced multi-caliber LMG capable of firing 7.62 or 5.56 with minimal adjustments to the weapon. This all-new LMG is capable of taking down both infantry and artillery, whichever crosses its path. There are attachments for it. Okay, cool. It looks like a pretty, again, one of those hybrid AR LMG type guns, not a big standard bulky LMG. This is like a Bruin meta potentially handling LMG by the looks of it. This could be fun.
It looks like a mix between the TAC Eradicator, the new LMG, and a RAL to me.
Yeah.
Like not as fast as the other LMG, not nearly as slow as a RAL, because it's got like, it's that type of magazine where it's like belt fed.
Mm-hmm. But then there's like a box under it. Yeah, it's weird.
But it's a TAC gun, so it's got like, it's going to have the same iron sights as a TAC 56, the TAC V, the TAC Eradicator, which are very clean iron sights. That's one of the best things about those guns, is you don't have to run an optic on them.
Yeah. That's weird. This is a weird looking little item, but I'm excited for that. I love the LMG AR hybrids like the Bruin was. Those are so fun to me. Like you get that extra damage, extra range, but you're not super slow. I love those.
And I agree. It is a little weird they're adding 2 TAC LMGs back to back. That is weird.
That is bizarre, right? Yeah.
I don't exactly understand that, but whatever. Better than getting a bunch of melee weapons.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I'm shocked that there are going to be 5 new guns. Yeah. So this is really cool. And by the way, for those of you who are lagging behind a lot in your camo grind, if you're going for the multiplayer camo, this is really good for you because now you can skip launcher and melee on day 1 of season 1. And then you could skip like pistols also if you wanted, maybe, I don't know, with all these new guns added. So very cool. A lot of options on which guns to get for Interstellar. But anyway, 9 new aftermarket parts are going to be on launch as well. Oh, and they actually tell us about them. So here we go. Here's a screenshot, first of all. And it looks like a lot of these are conversion kits Whoa, some interest. Let's get into the details.
Yeah.
The Jack Purifier. This is this is a fairly common one. This is compatible on a bunch of guns: MCW, MTZ, Holger, DG56, SVA, Ram 7, MTZ 762, Boss B Sidewinder, and Riveter. Wow. So this, okay, so
what
we're
is
getting
it?
some
Explain it
aftermarket
to us,
parts
man. I wonder
that
what
can
it
be
is.
used on many guns, which is a good precedent. Hopefully, the Jack Purifier isn't a flamethrower. Let's see. Equip an underbarrel flamethrower. Got it.
Oh,
What
it
more
is,
needs
yeah.
to be said? Burn it all down.
Yes.
So this is going to be terrible, to be clear.
Are they adding the fire on the screen effect too?
Oh, true, dude. Yeah.
Hey,
Are we
remember
getting the
I said this before
Wolfenstein
MW3
flames?
came
Yeah.
out. Sledgehammer games get considerably worse as they have more time to work on them. Oh
and
my
add
god.
different
The
fun and
ghost
exciting
vest,
fire.
underbarrel flamethrowers. Damn it, man. They just love doing it. They can't get
True.
enough. They can't get enough.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate it so much. I hope it's awful.
Okay,
Oh, man.
yeah, that's the thing. This is why this is so goofy to add, is because either it's terrible, in which case no one uses it, so why'd you make it? Or it's good, which is far worse for the game than if it's terrible. Can you imagine like a fire break level flamethrower in like for an attachment? Like that would
Can you
be
imagine
way
running
too
this
good.
in hardcore with a riot shield on your back? An
Dude.
Orion riot shield
Dude,
with an
true.
interstellar underbarrel flamethrower.
Yeah.
I love Sledgehammer and Call of Duty. Yeah.
Shout out to Sledgehammer. You know what I can say? So here's what I expect. I expect it's going to be pretty bad and not worth using.
Yeah.
Um,
It's available on the Riveter, a fully automatic shotgun with an underbarrel. With an underbarrel
but you have to
flamethrower.
switch fire modes, right? You can't do them at
that's
the
so
same
funny.
time. I
It's
hope you
probably like it'd be like swapping to an underbarrel grenade launcher, like anything else we have. Yeah, you press a button and it swaps it.
Can you imagine
That's
if you
so
can do
funny.
it at the same time? Use
Oh,
flamethrowering
it's so
while,
funny.
while you're full auto blasting. Yeah. So what I expect this to be bad and not worth using, for sure. With that said, it's still going to be better than just using a Sidewinder. So put this on your Sidewinder if you're doing that camo.
It's available on your Ram 7, buddy.
It is available on the Ram 7, yeah.
It's available on the
anyway.
Holger 556, which is a favorite, the MCW, which is a favorite. So if I had to guess, these are all the meta Warzone guns they're putting it on. The MCW, Holger 556, DG56, Ram 7, Bass B. Yeah, they put on all the meta guns, man.
Yeah. So, okay. Moving on. The Jack Etten double barrel kit for the AMR9. So this is only on one gun, but it creates two barrels that fire simultaneously. So basically, it's an attachment that doubles your fire rate on an SMG. So this is going to be pretty good, yeah, actually. As a matter of fact, is this a real thing, by the way? A double barrel SMG? How does that work?
You see double barrel guns out there that are not designed to be double barrel, but they turn it into one. So it's possible, but it's like, I mean, it's not a thing you see ever. No.
This will be good in a video game, though.
The AMR9 already has an insane fire rate. So, like, how is this not just going to break multiplayer? Isn't it theoretically cutting the time to kill in half?
Yeah, that's the idea.
So, like, huh?
And then make it a hip fire
How
build.
is this not going
This
to
thing would
destroy
be so
multiplayer?
broken. Yeah, this is going to be really good. This is going to be really good.
Especially on an SMG where, like, you don't need that many attachments.
Yeah, and the way they say they balance it is that it's going to give you, at the cost of some accuracy is what it says. So it's going to have probably a lot of bloom. It's probably going to, like, hurt your hip fire spread, I would guess.
Yeah.
And it's also going to have, add a bunch of recoil. But on an SMG, I don't really care about any of that. If I can double my fire rate, I'm doing it. Obviously. Duh. Like, the downsides have to be tremendous for me to even think about this. And let me say
It's
that
got to
again.
have, like, LMG
Tremendous.
mobility.
Yeah. That
then
I
at
guess
that
that would
point,
be one
it's
way to balance it. Yeah.
Then again, why add it? Because that's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
People don't want to run around
Right.
with really slow SMG. Yeah, I don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be too good. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. The Jack Thunder LMG kit. This will be compatible with the Sidewinder, and then they put in parentheses BR. I'm assuming what that means is battle rifle, since the Sidewinder is a battle rifle, right? Or is it? Hold on. No. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. I'm assuming that doesn't make sense if it means battle royale. So this is a Sidewinder thing. Dominate lanes and hold objectives with this LMG conversion kit for the Sidewinder BR. Okay, yeah, battle rifle. That brings a large capacity mag and ramps in fire rate the longer you hold down the trigger. So this is definitely worth using because the Sidewinder's biggest downside by far is its atrociously slow fire rate. So this again is going to be like super worth using, and you should never use a Sidewinder without this attachment on it. Unless you're playing hardcore, I guess. But this is like actually makes a Sidewinder potentially usable in core. So that's good. That's cool. I like this. And it also doesn't sound overpowered either. It sounds like balanced and it makes the gun better. So I'll take that. The Jack BRB. This is the compatibility is many assault rifles, subs, BRs, marksman rifles, and sniper rifles. So it's going to be available on a lot of things. It is a compensator that borders on excessive, offering a phenomenal reduction to recoil while significantly increasing muzzle report, resulting in an extended red dot on enemy radars.
This is interesting. This is a great example of a good aftermarket part they could add in the game. This is a solid one. I like this idea.
A very strong upside and a very strong downside.
Because if this helps a ton with recoil control, but say doesn't ruin your ADS that much more than another compensator would, I would definitely run this just to have my red dot stay on the minimap a little bit longer. Like in something like Warzone, I'm thinking I would run this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really cool. And it introduces like a mechanic we've never seen.
Exactly.
Where the length of time your red dots on the minimap can change. We've never seen that before. So that's really cool. That's a clever way to add a downside to an attachment. Yeah, I really like this. And you can use it on a ton of different guns. So this is an awesome aftermarket part, actually. This is a great use of aftermarket parts, for sure. I really like that. Yeah, super cool. When they say muzzle report, I wonder if that also means like a ton of muzzle flash. So like you like...
I think they literally mean muzzle report, like that's like the
minimap
refers
thing.
to the minimap.
Yeah, probably. So anyway, the Jack Bullseye is another one, which is compatible with redacted. Weird. Why would they not tell? I don't know why they would not tell you what it's compatible with. Maybe they haven't decided yet. Very low profile dot
it's an optic.
optic.
It should be like everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Almost
Limited
everything.
interference from framework offers an exceptionally clear sight picture. So I guess it's going to be like the Mark III reflector on steroids, where there's even less of a bezel. That would be cool. I would love that. That's what this seems like it is.
Sledgehammer makes solid optics.
Yeah, they do.
NIDAR, the slate reflector. Vanguard had probably the best set of optics in a COD game.
Ever.
They're
actually
really solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one sounds great, as does the next one.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then another one is a glassless optic, again, compatible with redacted. This small glassless reflex optic offers a crisp and clear sight picture for snappy target acquisition. Glassless. Wonder how that works in real life. What do you put the dot on?
Yeah, I'm going to look that up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so we'll look into that. But anyway, okay, cool. The Jack Signal Burst for the Holger 556 AR. it makes the Holger 5.56 a burst fire gun, a 4-round burst fire gun. So this is either going to be really good or really bad, depending on if that's going to be a 1 burst or not in core. It's that simple. If this is a 1 burst, this could be really good. If it's not a 1 burst, it's completely unusable.
With the Holger 5.56?
Yeah.
4-round burst should be a 1-hit kill. I think that's why the Holger 5.56 is so good, is it has that 4-shot potential. But I don't remember if you have to hit a headshot in those 4.
Yeah.
I think it could be like chest and neck probably, and it's 4.
Then this would be really good. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. And then, a conversion kit for the TYR handgun, the Jack Beholder rifle kit, a long and heavy barrel that offers the best increase to range, improves recoil control and damage range, converting the handgun into a single shot rifle.
Okay.
Wish I would have had that on my camo grind, but it will still have the trigger delay. So, still not going to be good, but
yeah, I wonder what they do about that. That'll be awkward using if you try to actually set up like a single shot sniper like that and you put like a sniper scope on it for it to have that fire delay.
Yeah, which I think it still will. It's a secondary, so it shouldn't be too good of a conversion kit. So, yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah. And then one more for the Rival 9, the best SMG in the game by far. By the way, for our patrons listening, the Rival 9 is overpowered. I was doing SMGs again this morning. It is very noticeably way better than all the other SMGs. So yeah, it's busted. And it's getting a Headhunter carbine conversion. Rival ARs, Rival assault rifles with this 3-round burst conversion kit that excels at mid-range combat. So you can make your Rival 9 a burst fire SMG. Impossible to say if this is worth using. Depends on the burst delay. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get away with burst SMGs. They have to just be like overpowered, like kill in 1 burst, essentially. I'm thinking more for Warzone for this. It'd be a huge no. When a bunch of other high fire rate SMGs exist, this would have to be broken like the Lockman Shroud or something. Which the Lockman Shroud at one point had a broken time to kill, I think.
They could also go the Damon from BO4 route, where it doesn't do a ton of damage, but the burst delay is like nothing. So you can just burst a ton. And if that's the case, this could also be potentially viable. But yeah, it just depends on that burst delay. We have no idea. So anyway.
Yeah.
Next section, become elite with Black Cell. No thanks.
We're not reading this.
New operators, no thanks.
Don't care.
Super don't care.
Store offerings, don't care. Dune, don't care.
Yeah, so we're getting Dune. We're getting the Santa guy.
There's another image of your Ram 7.
Dune is the novel, I think, right?
It's a movie too.
Okay.
It's a popular movie that came out a couple years ago, I think. I never saw it. But look at that Ram 7, buddy. That looks like... That is a huge drum mag. That looks bigger than like a 60. Is that like a 100-round drum? It may be.
A 5.56 ammo? It could be. Could be 1 hundo. Yeah.
That seems really big for a 60.
Or maybe even 75, because there is a 75 round. Because I think 75 is the default mag on the new LMG we got, the Eradicator. And I think it looks exactly like that. Maybe this is a 75 round mag. Possible.
Yeah.
I would guess 75 actually, because yeah, that looks bigger than 60 for sure. So interesting. And that could be relevant for Warzone actually. Okay, so yeah, skipping all that. But next section, challenges and seasonal progression. So we are getting some more weekly challenges like we've been getting to unlock additional aftermarket parts, maybe weapons, etc. Which is cool. In addition to another camo, if you do all the weekly challenges. So I think this is going to replace the seasonal challenge system we got last year. Whereas instead of having to get like a bunch of like new camos done individually for guns, you just do all the weekly challenges and then you get the new weapon camo. Maybe. That's what this looks like to me. And it looks cool. I don't know. I like it. Then we're also getting prestige challenges as well. So, you know, we have the same old prestige system and there are going to be prestige challenges. Some of the calling cards look pretty cool, though, actually, if you see in the screenshot here.
Oh, calling cards do, yeah. The prestige icons, the first 4 look really bad.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a wolf or a bear.
It looks like a combination of them, yeah. I'm not really sure.
I guess bear, because of the ears. Little cute little teddy bear ears, yeah.
Yeah, true.
So, anyway, whatever. Yeah, there are prestige challenges. There are some calling cards. And there are, the same kind of system. So there were like, once you hit prestige 1, you would unlock prestige 1 challenges. I think you're probably going to unlock 6 of them. And if you do all 6, you get the prestige 1 master calling card. Kind of like how the challenges look for calling cards in game right now, in fact. So that's cool, I guess. There you go. Whatever. And then here's where they say L if you like DMZ. I'm not reading any of this. We already talked about it. DMZ's dead. You can still play it, but they're never updating it again. So cool. CDL pack in 2024 announcement. So here's another look at some CDL skins.
These better looking than MW2.
Yes.
Yeah, I like this style a lot better.
Some windbreakers.
The MW2 ones were so ugly.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
these are really good.
On the launch of season 1 on December 6th, there will be a CDL launch pack on sale, I guess. I don't know what that's going to entail. Is this going to be for the generic ones, or is this going to be for each team that's going to have one? I can't tell.
Well, these are the generic ones.
The generic ones are going to go on sale December 6th. Yeah. Okay. And they look better than last year's generic ones.
It's just the standard CDL female and male.
Yeah.
Home and away.
Home and away. So like 4 skins. Yeah. So there you go. And then CDL season begins December 8th if you're into that. And that is pretty much it. So
yeah,
a lot of info there, and we didn't even talk about Warzone yet. What are your thoughts?
A lot of content, a lot of stuff, a lot of guns. The new maps look good. The Warzone stuff is very exciting, like all of it.
Which we'll get into on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get into all that. But yeah, this is a real jammed pack season, real jam pack, which I guess is normal usually for season 1. Hopefully this trend continues though, because we are getting a lot. The Christmas event, all of it, new game modes. It's really good.
This is actually more than I was hoping for. Even setting aside Warzone, which is also more than I was hoping for. We're getting 5 weapons on launch. We'll call it 4 because of the launcher, but still that's better than MW2. Like last year, we would get a season where we would get 1 gun and 2 new melee weapons, and for the whole season. Like, it was crazy. So we're getting more weapons than I would expect. We are also getting those aftermarket parts that are actually, many of them, going to be impactful and usable and not overpowered, with one exception. That's pretty cool too. There are only a couple of the aftermarket parts that are just like the COD classic, no one's going to use this, so why'd you add it? There are some of those, like the flamethrower, but far less of that has been added this season than the usual COD season. So not only are we getting more than I was expecting, it's also of higher quality. So the trend of MW3 being a better game continues, and this is a W update. And again, that's to say nothing about the Warzone integration, which is going to be also very good and interesting, and we'll get onto that on Saturday.
Yeah, big W all around, I'd say.
Big W all around. Today's episode is brought to you by us. This is our own ad, Get Scammed, If you've been thinking of joining the Patreon, as we've been saying, and it is still true, now is the best time, especially with the Warzone integration coming up. If you join at the gold tier for just $5 a month, you get early access and ad-free public episodes. You get 3 COD-related bonus episodes every month, and a bonus and access to every bonus episode we've ever done in the past as well. So for example, our last bonus episode was part 2 of our MW3 multiplayer brainstorm. After having used every gun, every attachment, every perk, it was super productive, and it had a lot more knowledge in it than our first brainstorm we did last month for bonus episodes. So you'd get that, you'd get them all right away, $5 a month. And going forward, the COD bonus episodes we're going to be doing this month are going to be really Warzone focused, especially with the integration happening. I would expect the first bonus episode we will have for all of our patrons this month is going to be a deep dive brainstorm into Warzone, what guns we're going to use, what perks we're going to use, etc. And it's going to be really, really good. And I'm really excited to get into it. So yeah, if you join at the gold tier, $5 a month, you will get access to that bonus ep this month as soon as it drops. At $10 a month, as well as 2 other ones, by the way, that are also Call of Duty related. If you wanted more than that, at $10 a month, you'd also get 1 Q&A episode per month, where only you guys can ask the questions or hear the answers. And if you wanted even more, the Damascus tier is for you. At $20 a month, you get a behind the scenes episode once a month as well, and a Damascus only patron hangout every single month, as well as the Damascus Discord Lounge channel, where it's probably the most active channel in our Discord. The last hangout we did custom games against each other in MW3. It was a lot of fun, and you could come to the next one. Patreon.com/thedropshot. If you hated hearing this ad, sign up for the Patreon. You'll hear this nor any other ad ever again. Let's get back to the show. All right, so now next section here, we have some videos from content creators to cover. So yeah, TrueGameData put out a video, and TheXclusiveAce put out a ton of videos on how some things work in this game. So these are not exactly patch notes, but they are more details and descriptions on MW3 multiplayer, and some of this will affect Warzone as well, by the way. Actually, a lot of it is going to be relevant for Warzone as well, because a lot of it's about attachments and stuff, which will be coming to Warzone. So this is going to be germane to both Warzone and multiplayer, and it's just more explanation into what a lot of things in the game mean, what they do, and how closely they align with what they say they do, basically. So that is what we're going to be doing here. We have a lot of videos to cover. I will link all of the videos in the show notes / video description. If you want more info or to go watch them yourself, you can do that. I linked them all for you down below. That is the last time I'll be saying that, so you can go find all of those there. Now, the first one we're going to cover is from TrueGameData on the quote-unquote mouse input issue that everyone who plays on keyboard and mouse has been talking about. So there has been a big hubbub since launch of people who play on keyboard and mouse saying the mouse input feels weird or wrong. Change your mouse filtering to 2. That helps a little bit. It feels floaty, blah, blah, blah. TrueGameData was like, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to try and figure it out. And he made a 30-minute video on this topic. Now, all of the things I'm about to say also apply to controller. So if you're using a control, Jesus, excuse me. If you're using I like a bunch of spit in my mouth. If you're using a controller, these things are all true for you as well. The reason only people on keyboard and mouse were complaining about it, though, is that based on what these things are, they're just way more noticeable and impactful if you're playing on keyboard and mouse. So you probably didn't notice any of this weirdness on controller, which is why the discourse has been from KBAM people. So it's a long video. Here is the TLDR.
It's a movie.
It's a movie, much like our lives. Yeah. TLDR is 3 points, 2 points really. Why does my aim feel weird in MW 3? Okay, number 1, where you're aiming prior to aiming down sight will not be where you're aiming once you're aiming down sight. So in other words, if I'm holding my gun and I have my crosshair dot directly on your head in hip fire, when I aim down sight and I'm looking down either the irons or my optic, that dot where you're aiming will move in that time, and you will not be aiming where you were when you were hip firing. The degree to which your dot will move, how far it will move for once you ADS, depends on how much idle sway your gun has. So I can hit, again, I'm hip firing, or I'm just holding my gun, not ADS. I put my dot right on your head. Once I aim down sight, I will not be aimed right at your head anymore. I will be aimed in a random spot off of your head by whatever amount, depending on how bad my idle sway is. So if my idle sway is really bad, I'll be like pretty far off your head. If my idle sway is very good, I'll be very close to your head. But I'll be at a random spot depending on those things. Number 1. By the way, this is insane. Why does it work like this? And one point he keeps stressing in this is that no other FPS game is like this. It's only Call of Duty.
Well, it's because COD has so much idle aim sway. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this didn't really... The idle aim sway didn't really come in until like MW 19, I think it was, right?
I believe so. So some of these mechanics have worked this way since MW 19. Some haven't. I don't remember which applies to what. It doesn't really matter. You can go watch the whole video yourself if you really want to know. But I'll never play the old games again, so I don't care. So this is just a description of how it works in this game, whether or not it's a holdover. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's point number 1 as to why your aim might feel weird. So, point number 2 is this. Your reticle, in other words, where your bullet will go if you fire the trigger, is not always on the center of your screen. So, unlike any FPS game ever made, the center of your screen is not necessarily where you're aiming at all times. And in fact, most of the time, it's not. So for example, if I like do a 90, I just turn 90 degrees quickly to my right and then start shooting. If I turned exactly 90 degrees, the center of my screen is exactly 90 degrees to my right. But where my reticle is, and therefore where my bullets will go, will not be exactly 90 degrees to my right. It will be like 86 degrees for a little while until you're done, but not instantly. It takes a couple seconds, milliseconds. But in FPS terms, that's a long time. And if that kind of doesn't make sense to you, here is an example screenshot that Tanner took. So he's ADS'd, and all he did was move his aim from right to left. And now you'll see the green dot in this screenshot is the center of his screen. But the reticle is to the left of the center of his screen. So in every other FPS game ever, your reticle is always exactly in the center of your screen. So if you're a very experienced player, you get used to this and you know what shots you can hit and what ones you'll miss, because you are used to your reticle being in the middle of your screen, which is how it should work. This game, it doesn't. So if you change where you're aiming quickly, that will off-center your reticle for an amount of time. But also, if you're just strafing, that also off-centers your reticle in the same way.
Yeah.
So you can't so if you if you're ADS and you start strafing, your reticle is going to be lagging behind the center of your screen in the opposite direction of where you're strafing. So if I'm strafing left while ADS'd, my reticle is going to be more right of the center of my screen, not the center of my screen exactly. And again, no other FPS game is like this. That's why it feels weird. And what he was saying is these mechanics are more exaggerated than ever in MW3 because some of these things were in older CODs, but not this bad. That's why people are like especially calling attention to it now. Yeah. So the TLDR, by the way, is that in your settings, there is a setting called crosshairs. You can just search for the word crosshairs. The options are off, on, and static. Do not have that on static. Because if you have it on static, there will always be a dot in exactly the center of your screen, but that's not where your reticle is. So if you put crosshairs to the static setting, you won't know where you're aiming if you're moving exactly, which is bad.
That's that center dot that everyone started using in MW2,
That is center
right?
dot, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is a good thing to do in every other FPS game, except for this one, because that's not actually where your reticle is.
Yeah.
So your crosshairs setting should be on, not on static. That's the TLDR from this. But yeah. This is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, so basically what he said is this, it's just exactly the same way that it was in MW2. So this is nothing new in MW3. So people feeling this now, but they didn't feel it in MW2. I mean, I guess essentially they're just they've lost their mind because it's the exact same way in MW2. And he actually posted a video.
Could be the movement
on Twitter after, is him showing a TAC V. And TAC V moves all around, so far away from the center of the screen, like so much more than this dot shows of this image that we showed of the sniper scope. Like that one's really bad. And he basically described it as like this game, like Infinity Ward essentially added like gun inertia in. So they really tried to copy Tarkov with DMZ. There's literally one video game I know that on purpose does not tie your bullet to the center of the screen, but it's a known fact. And it is Escape from Tarkov. And that is because the bullets actually come out of the barrel. So the longer your barrel is on your screen, if you add a suppressor, if you have a short SMG, your rounds are not hitting the center of your screen. But that's just a known fact with how the game works. This is just not a known fact. It's not what people thought. And it's no other arcade FPS game where... That's the other thing with Tarkov. There are no crosshairs. So it doesn't feel weird at all. You just learn hip spray with a specific gun. And you get used to that on whatever gun you're using. This, it's weird because you always have static crosshairs, but they're not correct. So, and I saw some people ask him too, like, do you think this is something Sledgehammer will change and fix? And he's like, your guess is as good as mine. He's like, at the very least, they will be aware of this problem, bug, feature, whatever it may be, because of how much publicity the video is getting.
It seems like a feature because...
It was an Infinity Ward game. So yeah, it's for sure a feature.
Yeah. So just... real quick, if you have the crosshair setting on static, it's not where your bullet will go. If you have it on, that dot will move off center of your screen. That dot is accurate. It just feels weird because it's not always on the center of your screen, which is where it should be. So turn the crosshair setting to on, and then that reticle will be where you're aiming. However, it should never move off the center of your screen, which it does. So yeah, I guess if it did work, if all of this did work exactly the same in MW2, my suspicion is because the movement is way slower in this game, that's why people didn't notice it in MW2. Whereas now you can move so much faster, it's like
so when you're trying to track
noticeable.
people,
yeah. And your strafe speed is slower in MW2. So that would be my guess. But yeah, so that's the TLDR on that. But like Tanner and I called it, by the way, we called it, nothing's wrong with the mouse input. This is why it feels weird. And all the people who are complaining about mouse input, all the people who were complaining about mouse input have been talking about this video and they're like, oh, that explains it. So they all like conceded. The mouse input is fine. It's just mechanically, it's just dumb. It's just a dumb mechanic in the game. But yeah, that's what's going on. And again, if you're on controller, this probably isn't even an issue for you. So, but it's still all true. So keep it in mind if you are on controller. Yeah. One quick thing though, Sledgehammer did say they are aware of what someone asked in the Reddit AMA.
Yeah, that's
Are you guys aware of the mouse input issue? And then Sledgehammer said, we're aware of some things that can be contributing to that feeling, and we are working on it. So if these are in fact the problems, which it seems like they are, that everyone's talking about with mouse input, and Sledgehammer did say they're going to change something, what would they change?
Yeah, because they said we're looking into. Said like we're looking into some mechanics or something that could be causing this. Yeah, they did word it in a way like basically what he's explaining in the video.
It would apply to the things in the video
because we even said like, well, they're definitely not talking about just like the actual mouse input. That's
correct, exactly.
And they're not saying they're fixing it. They're saying we're looking into something related to what people may think is giving you this feeling. So yeah, there's a good chance that's it actually.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. And this is the first single player trailer we saw of MW2. That was when I pointed out, I'm like, oh, like the visual optic recoil looks awful. And like the actual reticle inside of the optic in MW2 and MW3 moves around so much when you're jumping, when you're moving left and right. So like the center of that reticle ends up being at the bottom half of the optic. And it's jarring and it's unnecessary, and it's like some realism thing that MW3 added in to add like essentially fake sway almost. But I don't know. Again, no other game does this. So like in MW2 and MW3, if you flick really fast to the left or right, your red dot that's in the center of your optic will be so far left or right on your optic that it's almost not even inside of the optic anymore.
Yeah, the scope relief just gets insane. Yeah. And
that should not be a feature. That dot should be in the center of the optic pretty much no matter how fast you move. Because I remember when we played the beta and stuff, then I went back to play Tarkov before MW3 fully launched. I was trying this on different optics and guns. Swiping really fast left and right, even in that game, that's like realism. The center dot does really not move from the optic location. It always stays in the middle, no matter how fast you move up and down. It always stays in the middle. So I don't understand why they do this. I hate this feature. And it's the way that it is still because of the way Infinity Ward implemented it. And as we all know, MW3 is not exactly a built from the ground up game. It was built from MW2. So that's why it feels this way.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why all these things work the same way in MW2. So.
You know, the issue too, or the problem with issues like this is Treyarch's game next year is using the same unified COD engine. So it's like, do they use some of, I don't know exactly how all this game design works, of course, but it's like, do they use features from MW2 and MW3, or does it just literally mean they use the same game engine to build theirs from the ground up?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Mean we're going to continue to see stupid issues like this in Treyarch's game in 24 and on? I don't know, but...
Super great question. And if it is going to be as similar next year and beyond, hopefully Sledgehammer addresses it in some way.
Yeah.
So that the Sledgehammer improved version is the one that Treyarch iterates on, hopefully. But yeah, this is pretty weird.
We can hope.
It's weird. I will also, to cap this off, it's not the biggest deal. Even if you are on keyboard and mouse, it's...
Yeah.
If you're like really snappy and really good, then you'll maybe notice this. For most of you listening, you probably didn't even, you would never know if we didn't tell you, basically.
That's a great point. Like the only people that are going to feel this issue it is actually almost fully related to like quick snapping, quick target swapping.
Yeah.
Someone like MP Control or Nate Gibson, they would actually maybe feel something weird. Because on their screen, you know, it's like they're shooting at the guy because that's where the optic dot is, but is not where the bullets are hitting, essentially. So it's like when they snap really quickly right on some guy's head who's 90 degrees from them, they'll be able to feel that. All of us just playing the game, me included, you don't feel this at all. You really just don't. There's no way. I've never felt anything weird Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And I'm an above average Call of Duty player. So.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that is insane though is that if the center of my screen is on your head, and then I ADS and that moves right away, that's really dumb. It should be that if I'm aimed at your head in hip fire, and then I ADS, my reticle should still be in the same spot, and then the idle sway starts. It shouldn't start already off center and then continue swaying. It should stay centered until you're ADS'd and then start swaying. That's crazy to me that it does that. Because I could like if I'm sniping, I could like flick onto your head in hip fire and then ADS to finish it. And if I'm like used to ADSing and pulling the trigger because I know I'm on your head, now I'm always off your head. No, if I have any idle sway at all, that's crazy. Because now I have to find you, ADS, and if I was right on, I have to reacquire you again. Again, for most people, you're probably not centering until after ADS anyway. You're just getting close enough. So it's probably fine. But it's still weird that it does that. It doesn't make sense. So.
Yeah.
And that was TrueGameData's recommendation in that video, by the way. But yeah, if you want more details, and if you want to see a bunch of examples, you can go watch his video. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so next up here, we got a few videos from Ace to cover quickly here. So the first one, he discusses perks. So again, this is from TheXclusiveAce. So he's talking about 5 different perks in MW3 that either are bugged or he thinks needs improvement. We're going to talk about 2. Some of them were like Ghost, how it stops working like immediately when you stop moving, and he thinks there needs to be a delay. One of them was how EOD is bugged, blah, blah. So there's 2 we're going to talk about. Quick fix, or quick grip gloves, and then stalker boots. So the gloves, he did some testing. So these are the ones where it increases your weapon or decreases your weapon swap speed. So you swap to your other gun faster. So he did some different combinations because he said, feels like it's not quick enough from just without using the gloves. So here's some tests. So he used the Poulet Mott LMG. Don't know how to say that word, never will. So I'm saying it that way. That swapping to the Core 45 when using the quick grip gloves is only 2% faster.
That's insane.
That's switching from an LMG to a pistol, 2% faster. From the WSP Swarm, which is an SMG, swapping from an SMG to the Core 45 handgun. No difference using those gloves. The gloves are supposed to make that animation a lot quicker.
Yeah.
From the big chunky LMG to a Striker, which is an SMG, a 34% improvement. And then from a Cat AMR sniper rifle to the Renetti handgun with a conversion kit, a 35% improvement. So his TLDR was, I don't know if it's bugged and it's supposed to be like a 34 to 35 across the board, or if it only works in certain combinations, but essentially the quick grip gloves are usually not worth running because usually the weapon swap is just about the same speed aside from certain combinations. So he was like, whatever gun combination you're running, put them on, try it, see how it feels. It'll be pretty obvious if it's doing anything or not. But in most scenarios, quick grip gloves are just not worth running at all.
I wonder if it's because when you swap to a pistol, they don't want that to be too fast. Because in these examples, swapping to a pistol is doing basically nothing, but swapping to a SMG is doing a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if that's the intention. So you guys can test it yourself, but it seems like, not worth using unless you are using like 2 primaries, basically. And even then, maybe or maybe not. So yeah, test it first.
So, and then the other one, he tested stalker boots, which stalker boots help with, they say they help with ADS strafe speed. Do you remember exactly what they say here? Actually, we have it in an image. Let me get the actual.
Yeah, it's,
let me read what it says in game.
Yeah,
stalker boots.
Yeah.
Increase strafe and ADS movement speed. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's how they actually work.
Oh, that's right.
These stalker boots, let me get back to where I was. They only help with strafe speed, and it is a 17.5% movement boost. Well, it does nothing for aim walking forward, which that's what it says in the description, aim walking speed. It does nothing for that. So it literally only helps strafing left and right. So if you're on KBAM, that's pressing A and D. If you're pressing forward or backwards, you get no increased movement from that. For example, to compare, the Stalker perk in OG Modern Warfare 3 gave you a 45% increase to strafe speed. In this game, it's only 17%, and it's only strafing side to side. So again, not sure if it's bugged or intended, but they generally are also very underwhelming. That's kind of what his whole video got at, is a lot of these perks, which Raz and I have been saying, they need to be buffed a lot.
Yeah.
They need changes. Quite a few of them.
Yeah. Stalker Boots still, I mean, 17.5% strafe speed is still potentially worth it for like snipers and LMGs maybe, which we talked about on Patreon. But it should be more, and it should also work as intended. So if I'm moving backward or forward, I should also get that movement boost. So that's definitely bugged, at least in that way. Or the description is just wrong. But I suspect bugged. It's bugged. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, those would be nice if you got the forward and backwards movement speed.
For sure, for sure.
So next video from TheXclusiveAce here, he talks about flinch. Is there too much flinch in MZ3? So he's talking about just overall flinch and then the marksman gloves. So we have an image here Raz has pulled up. So TLDR here, rear grips that say they help with flinch resistance give you more flinch resistance than the actual marksman gloves, which is a perk you have to take, which is a glove you have to take, and drop another glove so you can run that. So an attachment you can put on pretty much any sniper rifle will give you more flinch resistance than the gloves will. Now, of course, you can stack these, and they do end up working pretty well. But yeah, so marksman gloves pretty much are only good on snipers and marksman rifles when you combine them with flinch resistant attachments. So if you're just sniping, if you're using like a quick scoping setup with attachments that don't help your flinch resistance, maybe one of them you're running hurts your flinch resistance, there's probably not really a reason to use the marksman gloves, because it's still going to be an amount of flinch where you're going to be so off target. Usually it's not.
Yeah, you're still missing. You can see it. Yeah. Like you're still missing either way. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, generally just not worth it, but consider using a rear grip that does help with flinch resistance. I don't know what those ones usually also do. It's probably like aiming, idle sway, and flinch resistance maybe, and then the con is
it might be
ADS or recoil. I don't know, but those may be worth running. Test those out. In my opinion, at least for like the heavy snipers that zoom in a lot, flinch is it's usually so much that it's going to make it hard to hit your shots.
No matter what you do, you're still going to miss. Yeah, basically. Yeah. So yeah, they do
Especially when you
something.
have to rechamber around. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
exactly.
So they do something there. What else do they say though? It helps your idle sway. It does not. He tested it. The amount of sway, he cannot see a difference. The speed and the overall amount of sway was exactly the same in his test. He tried some couple different optics, I believe, so they zoomed different amounts. Same exact thing. That, in my opinion, would be the much more important thing, having less aim sway.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially after that TrueGameData video we just watched.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are probably bugged as well, so hopefully that gets fixed.
Yeah.
For sure.
So moving on to Ace's next video. This one is about ammo type. So he covers like every ammo type, not talking about most of them, just pointing out a few. Starting out with round nose ammunition, which is available on some guns. I think it's pistols, maybe some SMGs. I don't really remember.
I don't remember either. Yeah.
But so round nose ammo, the description says damage is consistent regardless of target hit location. So he's like, okay, so that should normalize hitting somebody in the leg and the chest. Like you should do the same amount of damage, right? Whether that's doing chest damage to the leg or an in-between value that's less than chest but more than leg. Whatever it is, it's false. He tested it. That is not the case at all. So
yeah,
those aren't worth running because that's what they're supposed to do, and it doesn't do it. So don't run those.
Yeah, exactly. That would be something you might want to consider on like a hip fire build or like a Kimbo, where
if it worked correctly, exactly.
If it
that's
worked
what he
correctly,
said.
yeah. But it doesn't.
He said these could be useful for hip fire, but not the way they work.
Yeah.
So frangible rounds, which again we've had in the game, he tested exactly how it works. So the time from the shot hitting your leg, if somebody's using frangible and they're shooting you, if they shoot you and hit you in the leg, the time it takes from that bullet to impact you and then you to be full health is about 7 seconds. So when you're hit with frangible in the leg, the time it takes from the bullet impacting your leg to being full health is 10.5 seconds. So it's just making that health regen slower, as it says in game. So that's correct. As he said, though, like,
Trash.
it's useful, but it's not actually helping you win a gunfight ever. He's like, all it's going to do is basically get you a bunch of assists. Because if you're in a heads-up gunfight, you hit the guy with frangible, he kills you, and you're dead. Your teammate is maybe going to clean up that guy after, so you're just going to get an extra assist. That's all it is.
Super not worth it, yeah.
So these aren't really worth running, yeah. Next one up here, we have Hollow Point. And I have an image here to show what it does. So again, I guess I'll say this after. So basically, Hollow Point, he says, works the same in MW2, which is a crippling visual effect when shot in the leg. Again, it's supposedly only leg. That's how it was in MW2. It stops you sprinting, and it gives you this awful visual effect. So I just paused it at one random point, but this is how it looks.
That's a great screenshot.
Just, yeah, it's
miserable.
It's like extreme motion blur. It looks like you're about to fall over, basically. You're getting dizzy. That's what it looks like.
Affects both
and
inputs
he
the
claims,
same, by the way.
Yeah. And he claims torso shots perform the same with the ammo type. So if you shoot someone in the chest with Hollow Point, you get no effect. So two things here. Something is definitely untrue here. One, either this doesn't work in private matches the way it does in private or in public matches, or in public matches when you're playing the game and I get hit and I'm disoriented and I'm like, oh, this guy's Hollow Point. And I watch the kill cam and it says he has Hollow Point. And then I watch the kill cam and I pay attention and he only shoots me in the chest and the head, but I get that effect. So something is not lining up here. Either the UI is bugged, and when it says Hollow Point, they're actually just running any ammo type. So maybe they're running overpressured, maybe they're running frangible, I don't know. Or the kill cams are so far off that it shows me getting hit only in the chest and head, and really this guy hit me once in the leg and it gave me that crippling effect. But it genuinely feels like anytime I get hit with Hollow Point, it is immediately noticeable, and I always watch the kill cam because I'm like, that's Hollow Point. And I watch it, and I die in a normal manner, all chest shots, and I get that crippling effect. So I don't know what's going on there, but I don't believe it.
You know what it could be, dude? Do you remember we covered an Ace video last week about how the damage multipliers in this game are super weird and don't make sense? So like some guns have arm hitboxes, some the arm is actually upper torso, for some the left toe is neck. I wonder if for certain weapons, the leg multiplier is the same as like the arm multiplier. And since they're the same damage values, the game thinks the arm shot is a leg shot. So you get the crippling effect even though you got shot in the arm, since the arm and the leg have the same damage multiplier for that gun.
That could 1000 be it. And that makes a lot of sense.
That would be my guess.
Because if it's the same damage value, they're basically thinking it's the same. It's an arm or a leg, like they're the same thing.
Hitbox, yeah.
That's interesting. That could be it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not crazy. It's very obvious when you get hit by Hollow Point. It's extremely noticeable. And you've noticed it too. And I watched the kill cam and it'll say Hollow Point. And believe me, he was not anywhere close to aiming at my legs. He's 80-assed at my upper chest. I didn't get hit in the legs by him.
I've had the exact same experience, yeah. Yeah. That's my best theory as to what's going on here.
That makes a ton of sense. That could actually be it.
Yeah.
Because it's like he only tests these with like one gun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And he just tested chest, it sounded like. I don't know if he shot arm too. So yeah, there could, he gives these tests because they make sense most of the time, but there's an odd situation here and there where something requires much more detailed testing. So maybe it is one of those things. Yeah.
And if that is the case, then Hollow Point is way better on certain guns than others. Namely, on guns where the leg and arm multiplier is the same. Because you're going to be shooting at people running sideways a lot. So you're going to be getting arm shots a ton, and you'll still get the crippling effect. That would be really good.
I'm going to start watching kill cams more often when I'm in a heads-up gunfight and he kills me, because I'm on SMGs right now, and I've been running Hollow Point on most of them. So I'm going to pay attention now. If I know I'm shooting a guy only in his upper torso, arms, chest, and I can see in the kill cam, because you can tell when they get that crippling effect too.
Yeah, and
maybe figure something out that way.
Yep. Yeah.
It's worth looking into. Heads up gunfight, which it never happens because I never lose a heads up gunfight, so I guess I can't test it. Darn.
Got it.
Oh well. Good. And then last one here, mono ammo. So the mono ammo, the pros say vehicle damage, bullet penetration, bullet velocity, and damage range, and the con is recoil control. So they said it says it increases damage range. When you go to detailed stats, it decreases damage range, and that is correct. So what he said here is if an attachment shows a pro or a con that is shown in the detailed stats, recoil control, hip fire spread, damage range, and it's the opposite in the detailed stats are always correct.
Okay.
From those two. So mono ammo does not increase damage range as it says, but if you're like actually looking through ammo types and comparing them, I would imagine you're always checking detailed stats, so you probably saw that. But yeah, just again, cannot stress this enough. You have to look at detailed stats in this game. They are huge. Yeah. They are important. Ignore the pros and cons almost entirely. There are things you have to look at for sure, which we'll talk about in this next video. But definitely always check detailed stats. Very important.
Yeah.
So that leads into the last video here from Ace, which is him talking about the hidden recoil stat. So this is called firing aim stability. This is a stat that does show up on the pros and cons list, but it is nowhere in the detailed stats. So if you look at this screenshot here from his video, this is him testing the WSP swarm. So again, no recoil values were changed when you look in the advanced stats when comparing these recoil plots. So in the middle, we have the base recoil of the WSP swarm. On the left, he puts on a stock that decreases your firing aim stability. So that's a con. And then on the right, he puts on a stock that increases your firing aim stability. So as you can see here, the stats are the same, but the recoil plots are not the same. So firing aim stability really helps your bullets essentially hit closer to each other. It's always hard to describe how this works. You kind of just need to look at the screenshot and you can understand. So when he has a con of firing aim stability, the gun essentially has more horizontal recoil.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
When he's using a stock that helps with firing aim stability, the bullets land much closer together. Overall, the amount of total vertical recoil is pretty much the same, but they just bounce around far less. It's essentially a more predictable recoil to control, I guess you could say. So this is something he's saying you really need to pay attention to because firing aim stability is actually important and it does not show up in a detailed stat. It doesn't give you a value for this at all.
Yeah, the recoil, the magnitude of recoil in the detailed stats does not change when you're looking at an attachment that increases firing aim stability. But in reality, you really do have more recoil control if you've increased your firing aim stability, but it won't be reflected in the detailed stats. So this is just another pro or con that does affect your recoil. It's not going to show up in detailed stats though. So there's another way to control for recoil control, basically. Yeah.
So if you're setting up a gun and you're just looking at detailed stats and you're not paying attention to other pros and cons that aren't listed in there, like firing aim stability, maybe you're trying to make a recoil build of an LMG and you have 3 gun kick control, horizontal recoil control, or vertical recoil control attachments. Let's just say for the sake of an example, every single one of those decreases your firing aim stability. Your stats are going to show that you have much better recoil control than you actually do. So basically, TLDR here, firing aim stability is a very important stat. And when building guns, test them in the firing range, compare the firing aim stability attachment to maybe one that doesn't have it. If you're going to use a bunch of those recoil attachments, pay attention, see if they have the con of firing aim stability, because it's very important.
Yeah. That's good to know, actually.
So this next little screenshot here is testing a Holger 5.56, base, no attachments. Then he puts on a stock that helps with firing aim stability, and it gives a 7% gun kick recoil reduction. So you can see that plot. And then he compares it to a stock that gives a more of a reduction in recoil gun kick. It gives horizontal recoil control and vertical recoil control. And you can see from this, the aiming stability helps more with horizontal recoil than the actual horizontal recoil attachment. Yeah.
Way more, by the way.
And as he made clear, and that's what we've been saying for a long time. Horizontal recoil control is by far the most important one because you can't really control it. So you want to decrease horizontal recoil control much more than vertical recoil control.
Correct. Yeah.
So, yeah. So again, we have the detailed stats, but still, with Call of Duty, it's never going to show everything.
Wow. This is this second graph is crazy. The TLDR I'm getting from this is that firing aim stability in the simplified stats really means horizontal recoil control, actually. That's basically what it means.
I think
so
you're right.
If it increases it, it makes it better. And if it's a con, your horizontal recoil control is going to be worse. More so than horizontal recoil, in fact.
Yeah. So again, just to make it clear.
That's crazy.
The firing aim stability stock says it does nothing for horizontal recoil control, and it gives you better horizontal recoil control than the stock he tested that supposedly gives a 14% reduction in horizontal recoil.
Exactly.
So yeah, again, firing aim stability is a very important stat. Pay attention to it when building your guns. Use the firing range. It's very useful. And then he also showed with iron sights, firing aim stability helps with that visual recoil, which is excellent for K-BAM players, especially.
Yeah.
And it's not super noticeable, but basically the front post doesn't jump around as much. So that's important for us, definitely, to track.
Yeah.
And the last thing to explain it, he said firing aim stability, it's kind of like recoil gun kick on steroids. So he made it clear it's very important stat. Make sure to really pay attention to that.
Yeah. So if you want your gun to not move, you want to stack vertical recoil control / gun kick control, or recoil gun kick, whatever, plus firing aim stability.
Yeah.
You can almost ignore the horizontal recoil stat. Like, it's all firing aim stability for horizontal based on these graphs. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Good video.
Yeah. So, little confusing. Yeah, I mean, looking at it, it's kind of weird looking at the base versus the stock that helps with horizontal recoil, because I swear even the base gun has less horizontal recoil than
I know, kind of,
the stock does.
It has more
But
vertical.
it's probably because he put the lines through. It does have a lot more vertical.
But yeah, less.
But I don't care really about vertical.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. That's really good to know, though.
Yeah.
That's super good to know.
So anyways, that's it for all the videos. Again, you guys can watch all those yourself. Last thing here. I'm just going to read it, and we'll talk about it quickly.
Read it.
This is from the Call of Duty team. This was tweeted out on some channel. They said, "We know there is a lot of interest in the matchmaking experience, especially around how skill contributes to how lobbies and matches are put together. Nothing is more important to us than the experience players have with the game, and matchmaking is a big part of that. We've been working on our matchmaking system for well over 10 years, and we continue to spend a ton of time and energy on improving the matchmaking process. This involves people at our COD studios and our backend services teams at Demonware and other groups like the Player Insights team. It's a large effort that we've worked on for many years, and our approach combines latency, search time, and skill, along with many other factors to try to combine the best match experience for you. Talking about this topic in detail can be hard, and we haven't spent the time to pull together all of our work to share with you our insights and improvements over the many years. Improvements, okay.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to doing that in the coming weeks after Season 1 launches, and we'll also make it a part of our ongoing discussions with the community."
Whoa.
So basically, Activision is going to publicly talk about skill-based matchmaking. That's what this comes down to. A lot of people are speculating this is only happening now all of a sudden because of the Microsoft acquisition.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's so soon after, I don't even know if that's on the radar for them, but maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first time I'm aware of that they've ever even publicly acknowledged that skill comes into
That's what I was going to say.
Matchmaking. And of course we all know it, but us knowing that's the case from player testing and them publicly stating that's the case are two very different things. So looking forward to this. Although it really doesn't matter. They're not going to change it. They're not going to suddenly say, "You're right, the skill-based matchmaking is too strict. We're sorry. We're going to lessen it." They're not doing any of that. They're just going to explain how it works, which is okay. We like to see their thought process for things. And again, like, they obviously know this makes them the most amount of money. This helps with player retention the most.
Yeah.
So they're doing what they will make them which will make them the most amount of money. So nothing is changing, but it's going to be very interesting to see them discuss it in depth more.
Yeah. So this, I think, is the first like acknowledgement that there is SBMM, skill-based matchmaking, / EOMM, engagement optimized matchmaking. Those are kind of, they mean different things sort of, but they're in the way and everyone uses them. These are synonymous. And that's what's being talked about here. Tanner and I, since in the early days of this podcast, if you want to go back and listen, I think we have in fact dedicated an episode once to this topic. If you want to go look in the archives, I don't remember when. We used to talk about this a lot and say like SBMM is actually bad for the game. And we made the arguments as to why this hurts good players and it doesn't help bad players. This is like good for no one. Frankly, it's been 4 years of the current SBMM, and I must be wrong. It must actually make them more money, or at least increase player time played per session per player.
Yeah,
it must do that. So I guess I was wrong. Like I don't know, or I was wrong about certain things, or if it was worth it for the company or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. The basically what I'm trying to say is, I originally made the argument that even though they think this is a good thing, but it's actually not. Whereas in reality, it looks like this is actually a good thing, at least for the amount of playtime they're getting per player, which is what they're interested in. The TLDR there is that, like Tanner just said, they're not going to change how it works. So we can learn every single detail of it, and it doesn't matter. This is one of those things where if it's making them more money, they're not going to change it. Even if people, the vocal minority on Twitter, complain about it, it doesn't matter. So from here, we've learned nothing, like Tanner said also. We've all known SBMM has been in this game, or in these games, since 2019. They say 10 years, and that's a very liberal usage of matchmaking, because there was a type of SBMM in BO4 and earlier, but it would form the teams and, it would form the lobby, and then it would do SBMM to separate the two teams. But now, from 2019 onward, to form the entire lobby, it uses SBMM. It uses skill. So it's not like they try to make even teams based on a random lobby. They try to make even skilled lobbies, which means everyone's really good if you're good, which is much worse than how it used to work in BO4, which is connection-based matchmaking. Now we rank the players by how good they are, and then we do seed 1, team A, seed 2, team B, seed 3, team A, etc. That was way better than what we have now. So they say 10 years, by the way. They have not been doing the modern COD SBMM for 10 years. That's a lie. That's just a very, I would say, deceptive, very liberal use of what SBMM is. But technically, sure, they've been doing some skill-based matchmaking. But yeah, also, I am curious why they're doing this, because they've been silent for this long. And
so
like,
maybe it is
people
Microsoft
stopped talking about it, kind of, even. So it's not like they're facing more pressure than they used to face, because they're not.
I mean, there's a shitload of people talking about it right now, but again, it's the launch of the game. They do every year. Everyone says at the launch of the new COD, skill-based matchmaking is worse than ever. No, it's just everyone's playing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Every sweat's on the game trying to get the camos.
Strict. Yeah, exactly. So, it is. I do wonder why they're choosing to talk about it now. Maybe the Microsoft thing. I don't know. But I'm actually not that excited for whatever they're going to say. I mean, we will cover it for sure. I am interested, but again, nothing will come of it. They're not going to change the system. We don't know how transparent they're going to be when they do explain this in more detail. And I'm not even sure it'll make sense what they say, because they're really going to be like, it's probably going to be something like, we evaluate skill based on player movements around the map, score per minute, kills per minute, how much they play the objective, win-loss ratio, etc. And we use a complex proprietary algorithm to determine your skill, and then we put you in lobbies with similar skill people as long as the connection is within whatever. It's like, I don't think we're actually going to learn anything new, basically. I think we all know how SBMM works already. You know, so I don't know. I am curious a little bit, but it's not going to be, if you think you're going to learn something groundbreaking or more, if you think you're going to be surprised by anything in the details of SBMM that they're going to release later on, you're out of your mind. None of it's going to surprise you. The only thing that might surprise you is how forthright they might be. And that's another thing. Who knows how much they're going to say. They could give us more details without basically saying anything. That would be entirely possible. So, I don't know. Or they could just not say anything about it at all. I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't get this blog post they're promising.
Right? They just lie.
I'm not kidding. They've done it before. Like, oh yeah, we'll talk about this later. And they just don't. Ever. Like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
It's possible.
I'd be a little surprised because this is such a hot issue. But I wouldn't be that surprised if they were just like, oops. Didn't mention it. So anyway, I don't know. Yeah, the TLDR there is that, and I've said that phrase too much. It's not, they're not going to change SBMM. They're just going to tell you what it is, maybe. So who cares? Ultimately, you're still going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So anyway. All right, boys and girls, this is a long one. That's it. I'm done. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. On Saturday, reminder, in our next episode, we will be going back to that blog post and talking all about Warzone and the huge list of changes to Warzone we are getting that all look very good. So we'll talk all about them and why they're good and what we plan on using. And I'm really excited to get into all those details. Do not miss Saturday if you're a Warzone player, for sure. It's going to be fun and exciting. Patreon.com/Dropshot. Stay humble.
Stay humble.